Live. Hey, Amanda, how you doing?
Hey, Peyton, how is everybody feeling tonight? Hello, Starfinders.
Woo! Woo! And we always get the delay.
That's right. Oh, yay for the internet and working remotely. So welcome everybody to Starfinder X.T.R.E.M. We've got a fun, hopefully a not terribly, just a deathly stream prepared for you today. This is the second episode, with the previous one just having gone up on YouTube. You can check that out on Paizo's YouTube page. And just as a quick recap, everybody here, we are all Paizo employees. We will reintroduce ourselves here in a moment, but we are playing the Starfinder X.T.R.E.M game. That stands for Xeno Trouble Wrestling Entertainment Matches, and all of our PCs are amateur wrestlers moonlighting as heroes and villains in epic and dramatic storylines for the entertainment of folks around the Pack world. A very low rent, if I might add, type of situation going around. And so our wrestlers have been trying to put on the show of their lives where it comes to getting an investment into the league so that they could really hit the big time. Unfortunately, this massive event that had been sponsored by potential investors from Absalom Station got interrupted by the big star of the moment, an old washed up wrestling star from a couple of decades ago, was making a grand entrance. Brandy Brutal is known throughout the Pact worlds as having been a massive draw for audiences. And unfortunately, as he was making his grand entrance and leaping off of the scaffolding down into the ring, there was a drone that smashed him and grabbed him and took him off toward a mysterious abandoned refinery. And our heroes are trying to figure out exactly what happened and following that lead in that direction that he's gone. They did that, and they came across a couple of super fans of the Skulk, a rival to Brandy Brutal back in the day. And we open our scene today with Bear Drills, one of our amateur wrestlers.
Yeah, that's me.
One in one hand and one in the other, and figuring out exactly what's going on. So now I will turn it over to our esteemed players, and we'll let you guys reintroduce yourselves, starting with Mr. John Compton.
All right, hello, I'm John Compton. I'm Starfinder Senior Developer, and today, as the last time, I'm playing Tehwas la Malscripcion, who is an embry, who normally is sort of a veterinarian do-gooder, but really just lets out all of her pain and emotional torment in the ring as one of the big heels of our underground wrestling circuit. So yeah, she's going to be a biohacker, and she's having a great time.
All right, Mr. Peyton Smith.
Well, first I would get to Andrew first, because I got a whole spiely deal.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Andrew White. I am playing Daeve Palanshuk, Dorindy, personal injury attorney by day, and the litigator by night. He is also a witch warper, which means that in addition to having an encyclopedic knowledge of the law, he can also bend reality and access any number of parallel universes, which is, you can find uses. As Andrew White, I am the front-end dev lead on Paizo.com, and I am looking forward to playing today.
And I am Peyton Smith, otherwise known as Zorn the Bear, basically on a lot of social media stuff. I am playing basically Bear Drills, or basically Cord. And I am a Vanguard, which is pretty much like, think of basically just one guy with like a really big shield, and with his fist he's able to just use, weird physics to punch people out of orbit. And I'm super excited to play today, along to play another episode. I do want to also say that Mr. Jason Tondro is unfortunately not going to be here with us today. Unfortunately, last minute, he had to take care of some minor issues at home. So he's prioritizing that, and we hope all that gets sorted out very soon so he can return for next session. And also, at the same time, we're now all streaming from home, so unfortunately not all of us have like super awesome webcams and everything else, so we apologize you can't see all of our lovely faces. So like, I know some people sent me some emails asking about that, so that's simply why you're not seeing all of our lovely faces right now. Additionally, we also do a fun thing here on Twitch to where you can spend basically channel points over, if the longer you watch us on chat and attend in chat and everything else, you slowly but surely gain channel points, and you can use those points to give us a thing kind of like hero points or like reroll tokens and stuff. So say, for example, that we fail a roll and you guys are able to help us get some tokens, we can use the tokens you gave us to reroll some of our stuff. So say, for example, if I do a skill check and horribly fail, with your power chat, you can help us with it. But sometimes if you just don't like us and you want to feed Amanda here some just evil grimacing power, you can give her some evil points, basically, which she only has one. We're capping her on one. That's all I'm allowing her for now, so she doesn't completely kill me. So for her,
Peyton hates fun, everybody.
I don't hate fun. I hate living. I don't know if you saw the other streams we
If
do,
you
but I
hate
almost
living,
died.
then let me have more points.
No.
You're just encouraging her to use the points as soon as she gets them.
Oh, look. The more I taunt her, the more they come to me and not you guys. I'm the tank. So it works out. So basically, you guys could also award her some points, and she can use it on whatever she wants. She can warp reality, similar to a witch warper, and basically just destroy all of us in any weird way. Say, for example, if you succeed, you can go, nope, I want that to be a failure. And yeah, that is one thing that we're going to have to look out for with Amanda. So with that, welcome back to Starfinder X.T.R.E.M. Amanda, what do we have in store today?
Welcome back. All right, so our curtain opens on Bear Drills having one creature in one hand, one creature on the other. These are both turtle-like humanoids that have got shells and they're covered in piercings. One of them has a pink mohawk. That is indicated by this one right here with where I am pinking on Roll20. Pink mohawk turtle right there. Whose name is Crack Lip Smitty. You heard them calling each other by names as they were taunting you and saying that you would never live up to the reputation of the Skulk and that you were not worthy to step into the wrestling ring anywhere near anybody with the pedigree that the Skulk had. So you've got Crack Lip Smitty in your left hand. You have got Snapjaw Three Toes in your right hand. You're holding them up, Bear Drills. And what are you going to do now? Let's continue our game.
I believe last time we came here, and now we're going to interrogate these guys to basically go, hey, basically, what have they been doing? Obviously, we saw one of our esteemed, opponents get carried away, and so basically, I'm now holding both of them basically by their shells and looking. I'm like, all right, now it's going to be time for you to tell us what you've been doing here. Obviously, you have a bit of a stink with us both, and you're both going to be telling me exactly what you've been planning here and exactly where my opponent went.
I think one of the other things we need to get from them that they already have is a working vehicle.
I mean, we already have
the vehicle. We just don't have the keys.
That's right. The vehicle is right there on the map, as you see in that beautiful purple drawing of a car right next to you. That's the car that they drove up in, that they parked behind those little brushes there, and were attempting to kind of sneak up on you when you guys came upon them, and the battle ensued as they taunted you to tell you that you were never going to be good enough to fight the Skulk. And like I mentioned, that they've got t-shirts, and Crack Lip Smitty's got a bandana that's got little skulls, like a vest-shaped skull, a very sort of serpentine, lizard-like kind of skull. That's a very distinctive brand logo for the Skulk that he's been using for 2 decades at this point. It's pretty recognizable. Hieronomo Jones identified it immediately, so you guys know that these guys are associated with who you are assuming is behind the kidnapping of Brandy Brutal back at the arena. So so what do you want to ask them, Bear Drills, while you got them literally in your paws?
Now, first, I find myself very awkward in interrogation, but since our esteemed, basically, biohacker basically told me to find the keys, I'm like, all right, and I turn them both towards me, like, where are the keys?
Just turn them upside down and...
I shake them, I turn them upside down by their legs and start shaking both of them. Where are the keys?
I do like the idea that these have like stuff stored in their shells.
So you're going to turn them upside down and shake them out, and you just hear this jangling sound as pink, 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 and there are 2 sets of keys that fall down to the ground. As you can tell they're trying to say something, but their lips are just flapping together, and it's just like while you're shaking them.
Oh, I'm grabbing those keys.
Like,
okay,
those
are
mentioned
pretty
my guys forward. Like, hey, I need you guys help interrogating these guys.
Okay, will do. I mean, especially since I'm supposed to be the heel here.
All right, what's the plan? What's the Skulk's big plan?
You clearly didn't do this on your own. You're not that big of fans, I can tell. Come on, what'd the Skulk put you up to?
well, look, see, you's here, and you need to understand that we is very big fans, but there is only 2 of us, and we were told that you were just little weaklings, and that there was nothing to you, and that we would have an easy time of it, but clearly we were lied to, right, Crack Lip? Yeah, Three Toes, that's right, we were lied to.
Well, you know that the only way that the wrestling ring goes down when you're lied to like that is to get back in and get revenge. So your job now is to get us over to wherever the Skulk is so we can get revenge, and you can watch, and it's all going to be great, and you're going to be able to cheer, and everyone's going to have a good, fun time.
Yeah, you guys seem like super fans. Isn't it a lot more fun to be fans of the winner?
Sounds like you're trying to make a diplomacy check to sway them to your side and become your fans. Is that correct?
Speaking of diplomacy checks, I got to get my character sheet out.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
All right. So why don't you guys go
There's
ahead?
certainly an implied threat there because they are still being held upside down by a giant talking bear. But
That's
yeah,
right.
We're trying diplomacy first.
Yeah, they get a bonus, right? I have intimidation checks.
So if you want to intimidate a bear, you can.
I was like, yeah, I'll try and intimidate them. Let's see.
Mind if I help out with that?
You sure can. That's going to be a 14 plus 4 because I still haven't figured out my error thing yet. That's a you have a -1. Okay, just so you're aware, you rolled a 1, which is bad. You also have a -1 apparently, so you got a 0.
I am
trying
an
to assist
accomplished
with diplomacy
person.
also.
Oh, right. So Litigator, you're there trying to convince them to become fans of you because you are the superior wrestlers, and Bear and La Malscripcion sounds like you're just trying to scare them into submission. Is that correct?
Pretty
I'm mostly
much.
shouting to the desert.
All right, so you're shaking them, Bear, and they're just kind of looking at you with just terror in their eyes. There's water flying out of their eyes and their mouths, and there's just spittle
Tell me
everywhere.
what you
and they're
know.
being shaken, and they're like, they're trying to hold their hands up, but they are not really sure which way's up because they're upside down. They're just like, okay, we'll do whatever you want. We'll do whatever you want. And they're looking at you, Litigator, and they've got just a gleam of admiration in their eyes as they widen like Disney creatures and look at you in just sheer joy as they finally found the wrestlers of their dreams.
I think they're lying.
Damn right.
Aw, shucks.
By the way, any of you guys injured?
Oh, we're a little injured. Yeah. Could you
I'll
maybe
hand
help
you
us
each a
out?
business card.
They're gonna take that business card and they're gonna say, oh, all right. We're on your side now. You don't have to worry about a thing. You guys, what you need to understand is that Brandy Brutal, your star, whoever it is, whatever that they're trying to do to you, we don't know. We were co-opted. We were convinced to come join the Skulk, and we were promised that there was going to be some kind of great comeback from our hero wrestler that we've had since we was just wee little toidles. And as wee little toidles, they were our heroes, and we didn't know no better. Don't hurt us, Mr. Bear, as they look at you.
I'm not sure you've learned a lesson enough concerning the fact that you just literally try to murder a bunch of people in the middle of the desert. So I just drop them at this point because I'm tired of holding them up. Like
Moito is such a strong word. Moito is so strong.
Oh, it is a strong word. So is my fist. Sorry, Litigator, you're saying something.
So what you need to know, what y'all need to know is that we is now your fans, and yous need to know that the Refinery is where Brandy Brutal went. The Skulk has grand plans for the big comeback that he's going to stream all throughout the galaxy. He's got all the equipment that he needs to do that.
Stream, you say?
But there are many of us fans down in the industrial bottom floor of the warehouse of the Refinery, and you's gonna have a real tough time getting up to Brandy Brutal and the Skulk, you know?
Well,
So
you're fans. Can't we just walk in with you?
Yous can, but they hate yous. We've been told that you is the enemy, and we know that you're not. We know that you're not. Don't hurt us, Mr. Bear.
Trust me, I'm used to being hated. We can make this work. But you said it was going to be streamed before people who might be impressed by us?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of this, is that the Skulk is going to have his big comeback and the entire galaxy is going to see.
The Skulk intends to have a big comeback, but there will be a show, all right. it's just going to feature somebody new and impressive like us.
Are you saying you's gonna be the heroes of this show?
I mean, there are heroes plural, and then there's me, which, I am up for a change of identity these days. I'm tired of being booed at. So if
What
you want
is
to
a
be new
hero
fans,
anyway? But we do plan to be the winners.
Well, of course Hughes is gonna be the winners. It's because Hughes is the bestest of all of the wrestlers, right? Just like we just little toidles, but we can see that. We can see that Hughes is the best. And they're gonna pick up those keys. Are you still holding them upside down, by the way, Cord?
No, I dropped them, and I assume my companions have possibly at this time already scooped up the keys.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tehwas got a set. I got a set.
Okay, so they're pointing to the car and they're gonna say, "You better hurry because all those fans, they's down there, and you're gonna need to get up to Brandy Brutal and his skulk before all of this starts off. You're gonna need to just crash this party if you know what I'm saying."
I agree. All right, boys, here we got a
Oh,
plan.
we'll crash. That's the only way we know how to stop a car.
All right, so while you guys are headed back to the car, you are gonna hear coming from back down where your first car was, the one that broke down and got wrecked there in the desert. You're gonna hear the distinctive shouting of hey ya boy, this drone thing is doing something strange. This drone. And you look back behind you and you see moving towards you are your grandmother, the litigator, and your mama.
I am
And-
deeply concerned at the implication that the streaming drone might not be working properly.
So the camera drone that you guys brought with you that they were trying to mess with, and they were trying to see if your car could become functional again, you see that the car is still in the background kind of smoking. It's clearly not functional at all, but they are using a very rudimentary remote to pilot this camera drone, and they're coming up towards you, and the drone is going towards you, and all of a sudden you guys hear what sounds like through a crackly speaker the voice of the kiddo, the very unmistakable voice of the kiddo, the android who's the commissioner.
Before you start
of
with
Extreme.
Kiddo, could you do me a huge favor so the art department can then yell at me later? Could you click the tokens and do Shift Z for me? Like
Shift
one of,
Z?
like mom or grandma at all? Just so chat can see it just a little bit better. My horrible art skills. Basically,
Yeah.
you click a token and then you do Shift Z, I believe.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not as big as I can make it, chat,
beautiful.
but yeah. So there's grandma, and now if I can click
Oh,
out of
that's
it now,
way better than our car drawing.
now you can do mom.
Perfect. That is exactly how I envision them.
I am sorry, art department. Please don't kill me.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Peyton? I think that is the most
I think-
immaculate drawing that
I
I've
think for
ever
that,
seen.
I should be a freelance artist at this point. I think I qualify at this point. It was nice working with you all. I feel like I'm going to die after this. There's going to be a sniper
Peyton.
shot through my window.
Peyton, of all of the grandmother Durindis and mother Durindis that are in a wrestling Starfinder match streamed live to the public, that is the best that I've seen.
Good. It's copyrighted now. No one can take it.
That's right. All right, so Litigator, your grandma and your mom are wandering towards you, and they've got this drone, and you guys are hearing through the speakers that the voice of the kiddo is saying something, and there's like a little flickering screen. The one that was cracked that you saw in front of it is now started to light up and come to life, and you think you might be able to see a little something. What do you guys want to
Well,
do?
hot damn, this thing is more useful than I thought. How you doing, kiddo? Did you catch that?
Oh,
So
you're-
Yeah, kiddo, come on. I mean, didn't you appreciate seeing how Cord was able to shake down these poor turtles?
So kiddo is going to come up and he's going to be like, "Point me in the direction of my stars. Point me in the direction of my babies." And the drone is just turning towards you guys, coming in that direction. And he looks right at you, Litigator. He looks at Hieronomo over there, and you can see Tehwas out of the corner of his eye. And of course, there's no missing bear drills. Your enormous bear. As it looks
You're
at you
gonna have
and
to point it out, man. I'm really trying.
enormous in the best way, bear drills, as only a wrestler could be. So the drone is panning across you and is able to see that you're all there, sees that you have just dumped these tortoise-like people on the ground, and that they, are wearing the logo of the rival wrestler that even the kiddo also suspected might have been behind this. As he says, "Great news, my stars! Great news! There was streaming equipment that was into this drone that we've been able to get functional again, thanks to your granny and your mama Martha. Litigator, why didn't you tell me that you had such a wonderful family? Why didn't you tell me they were so much better than you? I mean, that they were so much better at electronics."
Well, it should have been implied, right? By the way, Granny, can you get these two saps some new T-shirts?
Oh, of course I can. Of course I can, kiddo. You know I would never let you down. As she reaches into the massive messenger bag that she slung over her shoulder, and she pulls out not only a Litigator t-shirt in each hand, but she also gets sunglasses, the rhinestone sunglasses from the merch table. And she just tosses them toward each of the Telias there and says,
"Yeah, put these on. They'll that's 85 credits a piece."
"That's right. We can open a tab for you. We can open a tab for you, and we will hold you to that because you are my grandboy's biggest fans, right?"
Can she have like I don't know what cell phones are for Starfinders. Could you have like a mobile device with like a little clip on? Like, here, slide your cred sticks in here. You got to pay for them right now, and it's somehow connected. So they can just use their cards.
That's right. She'd be like, "We'll take your cards right now." And that is Bear. That's your cue to grab those cards off of them and throw them toward Granny P.
Yep, do exactly that. Here you go. Here you go, Granny. Good working with you. Good to support the litigator in these trying times.
Oh, dear.
I do get sued a lot.
I mean, considering that you're in the next case that these people are bringing, you're going to be the defendant and the prosecutor. Yeah,
I'm going to be honest. I'm the defendant and the plaintiff in most of my cases.
That's why you have such a winning record.
Because he never loses.
Yeah.
His secret is he always loses and he always wins.
It evens out.
That's right. All right, so you've got that. You're making the Tilias pay for it with whatever money they may or may not have on them. So the kiddo just goes, "Oh dear, I didn't see that. I didn't see extortion happen right now. Anyway, my babies, my stars, great news, as I mentioned. We can now stream this. And our big event, our big sponsored event with our investors who are waiting to be able to make us into the big time wrestling league of our dreams. We haven't lost hope yet. We can stream whatever you're going to do. And as you are planning to rescue Brandy Brutal, we can convince everybody that this is a big show. We can convince everybody that we have the most dramatic plot lines that they'd ever seen. And they will never leave Extreme. They will be fans for life if you can possibly get this to work, if you could possibly make all of this just look like a big show as you rescue my big star, Brandy Brutal. Is that something that you think is possible?
Make real life-threatening damage look fake? I think we can do that. We're
exactly.
Yeah, so everyone knows, main reason that's cutting out is because Discord's getting hit pretty hard. But yeah, basically Bear Drills be like, "Yes, I can absolutely show my muscular superiority and improve and help impress the fans. Are they watching right now?" And I'll bend over and maybe tap at the robot.
And so the kiddo is just kind of like, "Oof, oof, that's a loud noise there from your bear claw." But yes, to answer your question, all of the fans had congregated into our stream. We've got it on pause now, but if you're willing to take this drone with you, if you're willing to let your support staff here, and Granny from the background goes, "Hey, I'm his manager, get it correct." And the kiddo goes, "Oh, I mean your manager. If you're willing to let your manager pilot this camera drone, we'll stream all of this live as long as you think it's something that you can handle and something that you're willing to do." And he kind of looks at you, Litigator, as if he needs like a basically a legal sign off. Could I get you to maybe sign some release paperwork?
Oh, I'm willing to do almost anything. So yeah, hand the paperwork.
I assume that you're going to review this first before you just put your thumb on it, right?
I'll flip through it. What's the worst that could happen?
So I'll bring up to the kiddo that there's a bigger problem right now. Namely, the kiddo. Listen, we can stream everything if you like, but there's a big problem that we just learned from our new friends right out here on the ground, is that the Skulk has his own stream going. So we're going to have competing streams happening. we're going to have to draw way more of an audience than him if we're going to pull this off.
That's right. You are going to need to be really dramatic. You are going to have to. Do you remember when I said that you were going to have to perform the match of your lives beforehand?
Sure do.
Well, now you're going to have to perform the match of everyone's lives. You're going to have to perform the match of the century, a match such as has never been seen since the mysterious gap period. I'm going to need you to pull out all of the stops. You're going to have to make this look good. You're going to have to make this look brutal. You're going to have to make this look extreme. And he gets excited. And
Extreme.
Let's do it, boys! And I get way overexcited and hop in the back of these poor turtles' trucks. Like, I assume it has like a bed and everything perfectly for me to fit in. And I'm just basically on top here. I won't even move myself. I'm on top. I go, let's go! I'm ready to get everything. And I only also use this moment to then finally sit down and be like, and I rest for 10 minutes for stamina.
I like how, they have a car, it has a bed, but it doesn't have suspension anymore. Not after Bear Drill sleeps into it. One of the other possibilities.
Are you still wearing the fez we made you put on to ride in the sidecar before?
Yes. I think
that's part of your persona going forward.
No.
So the kiddo is applauding as he sees Bear Grylls just get excited and jump into the vehicle. And he's like, okay, well, I think you might need to solve the problem to get everybody over to, where was it, the refinery that all of this was supposed to happen? Is that correct?
Yep, to the refinery, boys.
The abandoned refinery, the third best place in this desert for a showdown, right after the abandoned amusement park, the toy factory, and the chemical distillery.
That's right. Nothing is better than chemical explosions alongside of wrestling, am I right?
I'll say, and I gotta say, the pyrotechnics are going to be awesome, but I have another plan. I mean, it's a little bit underhanded, but you're coming to the right people for this, or the right person. I was thinking they got to be streaming from somewhere. They got to be broadcasting. If they're in the middle of the desert, they got to have like a transponder or something. What if we were to take that thing out, or like somehow connect it in and feed all of their traffic into your stream instead?
That's a wonderful plan. That's a wonderful plan, La Malscripcion. I knew that you're my best heal for a reason. I need you to get into that refinery, find out what's going on, find that transponder, get their audience plugged into ours. We'll get all of those views. The investors will go crazy. We'll show that we can be the most popular wrestling league in the entire packed world. And then you'll take down the Skulk and rescue Brandy Brutal in front of that massive audience. And it will be glorious. It will be huge. You'll be stars. I can't wait. We are live. And you hear this loud sound as the flashing screen in front of the camera drone is going to blink and blink and blink and blink. And then you have got a little red dot on it that says live and you're being recorded.
Oh, so, boy.
As soon as that happens, Granny P, who is right behind that camera drone, is going to go, hey, boys, if you want to get everybody over to the refinery, you're going to want to hook up some kind of car. You're going to want to hook up some kind of vehicle to the back of this one just so you can transport everybody over there. I mean, I'm not saying that Bear Grylls is a big boy, but he's a big boy. And she's going to point back to that car. And you guys can plainly see on the large sort of all-terrain vehicle that the Telias drove out here that there's a big hitch that you could pretty easily go down there and push your car up to kind of use as a trunk that will carry the rest of everybody over to the refinery if you so choose.
Yeah, if Bear Grylls could just rip the roof off of this other car like the lid of a cooler, then we could just attach it to the back like a trailer, we'd be fine.
Yeah, I help with that.
Sled. That's even better. I like that idea.
The soul sled.
All right, so desert sled. Bear Grylls, why don't you make a strength check if that's what you want to do?
Oh, I got a strength. Oh, okay.
You're the strongest character. Come on.
Believe in me, as I now go, bam, and 19 plus the other stuff, so 22. I do it.
All right.
Enough.
So your claws just sink down into the metal of the top of that car, and it's gonna be kind of a sort of broken down junky car anyway. You just tear it apart like a knife through bread, and you make a massive hole that everybody can just fit into, and you peel off the top of that car, and you're able to get that hooked up there to the back of it. So you've got yourselves a bobsled. You've got yourselves the desert bobsled.
Nice.
Dave will hand a different business card to the tortoise whose car that was for his cousin. For his cousin who sells auto insurance.
And your insurance information? Just no for.
No, I'm not giving him my insurance information.
All right, so
I had nothing to do with that.
are you guys? Did you guys at all restrain the Telias, or are you just trusting them that they're your fans now, like they said?
Well, I mean, you drop them on the ground and they can't flip over by themselves.
Yeah, that's restraining.
Yeah, I figure that even if they show up, all they'll do is build our infamy.
That's right. Okay. So you're just gonna let them jump in the car then, or what's the plan to get over there?
I mean, if they want to ride on the sled, they can.
I think we established earlier that Tehwas is the only one of us that actually has a driver's license.
For now, until I get back to town. So yeah, I'll hop back in the driver's seat. Schlorp my mollusk body into the driver's seat and use my little spindle legs to handle the accelerator.
All right. As soon as you do that, the Telias get excited and they look at you, the litigator. You're the one that they're clearly the biggest fan of, and they say, you letting us come with you, boss? You letting us come with you?
Yeah,
you need
absolutely.
Our help? Do you need some talented fans?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could always use more.
All right, so I have a
Also,
question.
we might need you to go ahead of us to push some buttons if we don't know exactly what they do, or walk across a mysterious laser feed. You could do a lot of stuff for us.
Whatever it is that you need, boss, and they're gonna hop over everything and
the
jump
drills
into...
has questions. Are the fans armed?
No, they dropped
Always.
their weapons when you picked them up and they were surrendering. They dropped their
Litigator,
weapons.
free loot.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on it.
Again, yeah, I guess
Grandma's
we skipped
probably
them.
catalog that stuff as we go.
Yeah, it's all in Grandma's bag. Grandma is our bag of holding.
All right, so Grandma's bag of holding now has got a couple of tactical batons that are studded with just pieces of broken glass and junky metal, a little bit of barbed wire that's wrapped around it, real nasty little street weapons that they've got there. Granny P just picks one up with her fingers, by her fingertips, and just goes, "Oi, kids these days." Puts them into her bag.
I kind of want to make it canon at some point that all are like we're still a team, but everyone's manager is Grandma.
Grandma is the manager of this. Well, I mean, you guys have kind of become a team now by virtue of the fact that you're working together.
I will sign up with Grandma Incorporated. I don't care.
Yeah, she's definitely got all of the necessary paperwork in her purse at all times.
And apparently a nail bat.
Well, sometimes people want to read the paperwork before they're willing to sign it, and the nail bat really helps speed things along.
Good.
Okay, so
right.
We hooked up the vehicles. We got our friends. Ready to roll.
Yeah.
All right. Tehwas, are you starting that engine up?
Vroom vroom, pilot in time. That gets me a 13.
All right.
Which is halfway confident, which is way beyond anything I ever do.
So before you actually rev that engine and you push on the gas pedal, Granny P sticks her head in front of the drone's camera, talking to the audience, and says, "All right, friends, it's time to lock and load. We're going to see what these wrestlers can really do. Stay tuned to the stream to see some extreme action." Almost as if she's done this her entire life and she's been waiting for an opportunity to be your manager and announcer.
I get concerned that Dave was raised being like, "I don't understand why you want to be a lawyer. Why can't you be something respectable like a wrestler?" And has been pushed toward this all his life.
I just want to make my family happy.
And with that, she hops in the car. Everybody is jumping in there, whether it's actually in the car or whether it is on the sled that you've got. You got Granny P hanging out the window. You got Mama Martha, who is jumped up and balancing herself on that back bar.
And Hieronomo Jones followed the Hieronomo Jones signal because unfortunately Mr. Tondro is not here today. So he went forth to save crime.
That's right. That's right. So you guys start up that car and you just hear that like brum, 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 because you rev the engine dramatically there, Tehwas, and you take off across the desert terrain. And as soon as you do, the radio clearly starts blaring, and they must have turned it down, or you didn't hear it, or something. You were too distracted by the stowaways in your car who have now become your managers, Granny and Mama Martha. as you guys are riding off toward the desert. What are you guys doing? Are you shouting anything? Are you making your presence known? Are you being stealthy?
I don't think
The
we do
radio is
stealth.
blaring.
I'm singing the
Dave?
non-copyrighted version of Barbie Girl in the back of the truck while leaning left and right, like causing it to sometimes tip over, and I'm having way too much of a good time during the drive.
That's
I will
right.
be downloading an app to my data pad that I can, like a soundboard app that I can use to make loud sound cues and guitar chords and the sounds of cars crashing.
Very cool.
Good.
Granny P, she like makes her way up to the back of the truck and leans forward to the radio and pushes, and all of a sudden you just hear a synthetic percussion sounding as "I Need a Hero" starts blaring, and you're all rolling down the terrain.
Meanwhile,
refinery.
Trellis is just dying inside because she can't tell what's percussion and what's the car just breaking into pieces every dune we cross.
So you rolled that 13 on that piloting check. So I mean, it's not pretty. You guys are bouncing around the desert there, but you do know the general direction you need to go, and you're able to avoid most natural hazards in the area. You don't run into any rocks, and your car doesn't break down. Let's just put it that way. So you drive up to the big building that's in the distance. You make it another about 10 miles as it is toward that. And you see this big, tall, about 3-story long, almost industrial warehouse looking building that has got a little bit of a dirt road leading up to what is a big, wide cargo entrance. There's like a garage door type of structure that is closed. And on the top of the refinery says New World Ore, NWO. Is in there, and doesn't look like there's a lot of activity around. What do you guys want to do?
It's quiet, boys. It's too quiet. Which one of you
You said
sees
that there
better?
would be fans here.
Yeah, where's the fans?
Did we go to the wrong refinery?
And
There are a lot of them.
Crackle Up and Three Toes are just gonna be like, no, everybody was here. Everybody was here having a good old time, and we thought that Hughes was never gonna find us, so he was being loud. I don't know. Do you think maybe somebody warned? Maybe somebody warned them. Maybe they all left. Maybe Skulk changed his plans. We don't really know. Why don't y'all make perception checks at this point?
Happily, especially because like the idea that they were scared of us seems
Perception.
very out of character.
I rolled a not good number.
Hey, so did I.
Woohoo! I can see something.
Woo!
Take that, party.
I can barely
Alright.
see and hear from all the fireworks I've been shooting off on the.
You're literally just shooting off firecrackers and little sparklers.
What else
and
am I
things
going to
like
do
that.
while riding in the back of a pickup truck across the desert?
Well, of course, that just as one does, right? All right, so Cord and Litigator, you guys aren't really seeing too much. You do see a bunch of little like pieces of discarded trash, which might indicate some sort of activity. Tehwas, you are much more perceptive. You are much more discerning with your surveying of the area. You see that there is a little number pad, like an old, almost kind of rusty, dirty little entry pad that's next to the cargo doors that are closed, and it looks like that those doors have just kind of settled a little bit unevenly, as if they hadn't been used a lot, but it had been recently closed.
Okay, I'll turn off the car for a sec, take the keys with me, because who can really trust these jackals? And I'll scuttle up to the keypad and see what's what.
All right. So you see that the keypad has got a very faint glow to it, so that means that it is powered on, and you know enough about these type of doors to know that that is basically an opening device for that door. You could get that door open if you could.
I don't know how or what number they need input here, but I have hacking kit, so I'm going to see if I can override it.
That's probably for the best, because you look back at the Telias and they're just kind of shrugging and shaking their heads. You guys could try to do sense motive to see if they're full of it, but seems like that they're not really going to be much help.
All right, so I'll try
I
and...
believe that their fandom is genuine.
All right, so my computer's check gets me at 27. Ooh.
Nice.
All right, yeah, that's perfect. All right, so you are easily able to beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, and all of a sudden you just hear as that door starts to slide its way up, and there's a green light and you see that the inside of this facility is now revealed to you.
I'm going to run back to the car, turn it back on, and we're going to be driving into this facility. I'm not leaving this car behind.
Right. Well, let's see.
I'll light up some more fireworks.
Especially because it means that I might get another car drawing.
You might get another car drawing. That's right.
So,
okay, so you all see the refinery there on your screen?
Sure
yes, and remind everybody that if you haven't regained your stamina points, now would be a good time. And Hieronomo can chill down here.
Yes, while you're examining the outside, you have plenty of time. Nothing is coming to attack you. Plenty of time to recover your stamina. So is everybody correct your tokens if they're not while they're inside. While you guys are going inside, Hieronomo's run around back to check out to see if there's any back entrances or any ambushes being laid in wait. So that's why he's not with you guys. Also because Mr. Jason Tondro can't be here today, unfortunately. All right, so you were driving the car and your little desert toboggan into this facility. You're not going to be able to really get very far with the way things are. We'll say that you can get to where your tokens are on the map before you got to get out. And everything around you is dark. What do you guys want to do?
I'm pretty sure I have dark vision these days.
You've got some dark vision there?
Do uplifted bears have dark vision? I'm going to assume yes.
Well,
that's something I need to basically figure out, but I didn't know if anybody knows. No, I have low light vision. Never mind, found it out.
You've
had
got
it written
low
down.
light, that's right.
So there, regardless.
All right, so are you guys looking around?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we'll look around.
I'm just slowly but surely, shields up, armor's on.
Checks?
Basically looking around, making sure nothing's wrong.
I also have low light vision. Actually, I'm going to use my ability to see electricity to determine whether or not these things are still active.
Well, my perception was a 15. I'm basically looking for threats, like shields up, making sure nothing's going to really ambush us with what I'm able to see.
Yeah, all right. So let's have everybody make their rolls. What are you looking for, Litigator?
I just want to see whether or not the equipment in this room, the electrical equipment, is actually powered and in use, aside from the electronic lock that Tehwas hacked against.
Sure. So you guys are seeing, it's dark, but you can see kind of the outlines of these conveyor belts that are going on, and it's got there's a very high ceiling. It's about a 60-foot ceiling, but these what looks like hallways there on the map, those are actually 20 feet above the ground, and there's like a step ladder, a metal ladder kind of leading up to those in places where you can see on the map. So that is basically like a parapet walkway that's going across the whole thing. There's the right there where I'm pinging on the map. That's a big piece of industrial equipment. Its arm right here is parallel to this walkway, and that's also about 20 feet up. It looks like somebody could maybe jump on it if they really wanted to. There are piles of kind of junk lying all around. This is indeed an abandoned facility. But Litigator, you notice that while the electronic conveyor belts are not actually in use and everything is pretty dusty and broken down, you do see that there's a little bit of light coming from this terminal right here. There's just a little very faint green light glowing from it.
Guys, if there's any way that we can figure out how to power these things back up, two things that have to happen. Somebody has to have a fight with somebody else on a moving conveyor belt, and somebody has to swing off of that giant arm onto something.
On it! And I would quickly just rush up.
So is this area that we're in right now, is that open to the rest of this, or did Bear just run through a plate glass window?
Nope, that's open. That's open to it. And it was fairly dark in there. It was just the light that was flooding in from the outside. But when Bear rushes forward like that, you see poking their head out of a little vehicle, a little utility vehicle, is a strange kind of tentacled looking creature.
Uh-oh.
Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
All
My
right.
favorite.
And you also see that poking their heads out of the various places where they are a number of just different types of creatures, humanoid creatures that are all wearing various skull-shaped paraphernalia on handkerchiefs, leather jackets, backwards baseball cap. The Skittermander up there at the top of the parapet has got a backwards baseball cap with a big skull in the front of it. And they poke their heads out, and all of a sudden light flickers on, and you can see the entire warehouse being illuminated, and you can see much more detail into the back of the room. You can see all these arms that are off of these conveyor belts. You can see that there's a big pile of cloth and textiles there in the back where I'm pinging here, that there are various vehicles that look like they're non-operational in the corners, and the squid-like person who's popped out of the vehicle right in front of you, Bear, is going to just shriek and be all like, there they are! Let's get them, boys! Show them that the Skulk is the best and they're the worst! And everybody needs to roll initiative as these crazed fans are determined that they're going to show you how unworthy you are of fighting the Skulk.
Oh boy.
Next time when you scream, like, back up a bit from your mic.
Okay.
Like, my poor ears, Amanda. How could
Sorry.
you? It's okay. Like learning where the mic present stuff is can get pretty hard. Don't worry. All right,
Well, you know, blowing
initiative.
people's ears out is all part of the extreme experience, right?
Oh, it is. It definitely is. All right, roll my initiative. I got a 13.
I got a 6, but I also forgot to click my token first. So
I got a slightly higher.
shucks, I might have to roll again.
Just
Yeah,
roll
you can go
again,
ahead
it's
and roll
fine.
again.
If anything else, you can just manually input the number in there. Then bring up the turn order up here so everyone can see. There you go. There's a litigator.
The Litigator, awesome. Okay, so everybody has rolled initiative. All of those guys have rolled initiative. We are going to be starting out with the camel-like creature who had been crouching behind a big pile of rebar that is wrapped in various types of wire and other industrial items. So that guy is here. But before we do that, why don't we take about a 5-minute break for everybody? Does that sound good?
That should be
Yes,
fun.
we can definitely do that.
Works
Let
for me.
me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Starfinder X.T.R.E.M. We just took a quick break, but right beforehand, our group of intrepid wrestlers have infiltrated the New World or abandoned refinery where the fans of the Skulk have been lying in wait for them, waiting to show them how unworthy they are to face their hero and their ultimate wrestler in combat. They've got to get through these fans before they can figure out anything else about how to get back to Brandy Brutal and the Skulk and stop him from humiliating the star wrestler and make X.T.R.E.M into a real wrestling league with investors from Absalom Station who are watching and all of the fans as it's being streamlined from the drone cam that Granny P and Mama Martha from the Litigator's household have been piloting so adroitly. So we have just rolled initiatives for all of the wrestlers. And before we go ahead and get started, are you guys, especially Litigator, are you telling your mom and your grandma to sort of do anything while this is breaking out?
Granny, if I need an extra gun, would you mind throwing me one?
Sure thing, boy. You know I always got your back.
Other than that, just, usual wait in the car.
Wait in the car. All right. This is just like your graduation, right? This is just like your senior prom when you have me wait out into the car.
Yeah, pretty much. And,
Wow.
and when I needed that gun.
And when you needed the gun. Well, who doesn't need a gun at their senior graduation and their prom? Am I right? All right. So I'm going to put them on the map here. Mama Martha and Granny P are back here piloting the camera drone, and you all can hear the voice of the kiddo shouting and reminding you all, make this look good, everyone's watching! As you can kind of hear a little bit in the background of the crew and the crowd sort of that's gathered around the screen applauding and egging you all on. So, very first, as all of this madness breaks out, we have got the camel-like individual here. And you can see that the Skittermander who's on top of that 20-foot tall walkway is pointing and hopping around and saying, yeah, Boatneck Terry, get him, Boatneck Terry, we're going to show him who's boss. As the Dramata is going to rush towards you.
Come on, they can do it. I believe.
And he's gonna get up. He's gonna get up here, right in front of you. And you see that he has grabbed a piece of that rebar that has got the barbed wire wrapped around it, and he is menacing it in your face, Cord, as he's growling and his eye stalks are just quivering. And he's like, "You're going down. You'll never get us. We're members of Skulk Nation." As, speaking of screeching, another creature that is up on this parapet here who's popped out.
Uh-oh.
This guy here.
Trying to search where he is. I see it.
You see him? There's this bird-like guy. He's figured out that you're there, and he's gonna fly downwards on wings and just go.
I don't even need Sirenscape like sound effects at this point.
Because I just make flappy noises with my mouth.
Yeah, I'll just keep like some of the Sirenscape music going in like a kind of low undertone, and Amanda will just do all the sound effects.
That's right. You guys are welcome. You get only the best sound effects from Paizo Incorporated today. All right, and so as soon as that bird-like creature who screeches as he's flying on really ragged-looking wings, and he's got like he's got a paint, like a skull-shaped kind of face paint going on. He's really terrifying looking as he's like, "Rah!" And he lands beside you on the other side of you, Cord. And then the initial tentacled creature is gonna hop off of his little vehicle that he's got there. And he's gonna swing at you, Cord, and he's got like a big shard of just like metal and with rusty edges, and it's serrated, and it looks very much like a knife as he is just gonna swing at you and be like, "Yeah, back down now! You're nothing for the Skulk! If you can't handle us, there's no way you can handle our boss!"
I've had more fearsome wrestlers than any of you combined. Come and get me! And I try to like flex a little bit, trying to like showboat a little bit for the camera. You know, shields up.
While you're doing that, you can hear Granny P from the background going, "Yeah, that's right. You show it for the camera. Remember, this is a show, boys. Put on a good show." As you just take that jagged piece of metal right between your fur and your armpit there, Bear Drills.
I kind of have the imagination that I hear Granny's, you know, words of encouragement, and I turn around like, "I gotta quit," and I basically get stabbed in the back, and like, "Oh, why would you do that?" And I just immediately turn around, fist up, ready to clobber it as I take 1 point of damage.
1 point of damage. All right.
By the way, Granny's words of encouragement. Face the camera! Face the camera!
When you bleed, make sure that you're squirting toward the camera. We really want everyone to see what's going on. That's great. That's great. Litigator, it's your turn. Get in there, boy. Show them what you're made of.
All right, so the Litigator will sort of cartwheel out through the, that is open space. Cartwheel out through open space. Land with crossed arms. Cast an ectoplasmic barrage spell, which in this case he's doing by opening portals in the dimension of angry ghosts.
Not the angry ghosts, man. You don't have to do it to them.
And whoa, that ain't good. But yeah, we'll see.
Made a ranged attack of 9.
All right, so you're attacking against that H.T.R.E. character there, the one with the tentacles in front of Cord. Is that correct?
It's actually against 2 different characters.
Okay, what's the other character that's the target?
It would be the Dramata and the eagle guy.
Excellent. Okay, so what did you roll for your attack there?
A 9. So I have a feeling it was a miserable failure.
It's unfortunately not going to hit, but it doesn't miss by as much as you think.
Is that the roll for both of them, or do you do separate rolls?
It's probably just one roll. Well, I wouldn't mind trying again. So let's make another one.
So we'll say the first one.
That's far worse.
Tentacled...
No.
Okay.
Is that a 1? That is a 1.
That is a 1. But you know, the audience still gets the.
I'm glad I can recommend these choices every time.
Poltergeists ripping through reality and swirling around the arena. So that's even if they don't actually hit anything.
So in your mind, you thought that these ghosts were gonna go woo and scare everybody, and what they really just did was.
Well, instead they just went sailing off directly to take care of whatever business they left behind them. on.
That's it. All right, so unfortunately, Litigator, that was not as effective as you hear Granny P be like, "Stop holding back, boy! You gotta put on a good show. If you keep going in this way, you're gonna make me come out there and do it for you. Are you gonna make me do that? You gonna make your old lady grandma come out and do your job for you, boy?"
No, Granny. I'll do better next time.
"That's right, you will." And she throws a just piece of garbage at you. Listen to your granny.
You had a hard life growing up, didn't you, buddy?
Well, this is how I ended up with 3 successful careers.
Well, Cord, it is now your turn as Litigator's getting berated by his grandmother.
Excellent. I basically, kind of flex a little bit, try to grimacing from the tiny little pencil stab wound that I got. It's like, have no fear, everyone. Everyone online watching today, you see these ruffians having way too much zealous love for their fans, but don't worry. Be responsible and punch gangsters like this with your own special bear drill. And basically, you'll just see my fist ball up, and I will then pretty much do an entropic strike onto the squig boy. There's no modifiers to this, and so bam! That is going to be an 18 to its to its whatever armor class thing that I do against it.
Against his EAC, that is gonna smash right into his face, and you're gonna hit him squarely, Bear Drills. Roll me some damage.
That is 7 damage. That was already rolled for you.
7 points of damage. All right.
Oh, so bam, hit him once, and gunning to get my thing out to see if I get any entropic points next time. But regardless, I hit him squarely. And just to make sure of things, I still have like a movement, right? I want to do a kind of like a protective move to the side to basically kind of engage Camel Boy there, just to make sure he can't just like run away or something from me.
Okay, so you're gonna be taking a guarded step to do that, so that you're not provoking any attacks of opportunity. Perfect. All right, La Malscripcion, it is up to you. The camera's pointed in your direction. What are you gonna do with these heels, this Skulk Nation?
So, am I understanding that this bird is up in the air?
The bird has actually landed.
Oh, okay. I'll take that too. All right, so I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to scooch up to here, and I'm going to level my beautiful little Costerjet rifle over at the bird and see about firing in a little bit of shot into the bird, see if I can slow it down a bit, keep our bear from being overwhelmed. I'm not even making much of a show of this one. I'm giving a quick look back at the camera, looking at the bird, and just popping a shot into it.
All right.
And we'll see if this works, because I do not have a good track record with these, but...
I believe in you. You can do it.
The bird's just going to look at you and go,
oh, I almost got natural 20. Regardless, it's a 16.
16,
yeah.
That's going to hit.
All right, so 16 hits. I need a fortitude save from our bird because I'm throwing more of my pharmaceuticals into it. So it's already encumbered from the hit, but let's see if it's entangled. This is a DC 14 fortitude.
All right, fortitude save. That is just a straight D20 roll for the Aspraka. That's a 6.
Beautiful. So you're entangled as well by all of the terrible chemicals going through your body, which, this can't be any more debilitating than their terrible love of the skulk. So, I mean, this is just an improvement.
So while you do that, the Aspraxa there, who's screeching and whose name is actually Screech, is just going to, not again, oh, every single time, it's just like they all have nets. And he's going to be flopping around there on the ground, trying to get away from your pharmaceutical.
Beautiful, and I'm just making my way over to the computer set because I bet I can cause some trouble.
Perfect. All right, anything else on your turn, Tehwas?
That's it for me.
All right.
Please start up those conveyor belts.
I will next turn.
All right, so when that happens, the Skittermander, who is at the top of the parapet, is going to skitter its way down as it just has got... let's see. It's got its mouth, its jaws are just open wide as it's dripping with saliva, and it's got necklaces, a necklace with what look like maybe bone or maybe just old washed out pieces of metal strung around its neck that's got the distinctive skull logo of the skulk as he screeches towards you and goes, the skulk, we are gonna serve the skulk, and he's gonna run up to you, Bear Drills, and he's gonna try to bite you.
He can try.
Dang, Dave, they have better swag than your table.
Not for long.
Does.
Nope, that will not get me.
11 hit your KAC. All right. So he's just going to completely whiff, and he's going to bite down hard, and you're going to just hear that kind of cracking sounds. It sounds like his jaw is not doing so well there. So now it is back to old Bolt-Neck Terry, who is beside you again, Bear Drills, and he's got that piece of rebar wrapped in in barbed wire, and he's gonna swing it at you. Bear Drills.
Come and fight me. You'll never be able to defeat such muscular masculinity. Everyone online will see how weak you are. And why do you hit me? I'm just taunting. It's like, you'll never conk. Oh God, just stop. You know, just getting hit constantly.
If you spend as much time fighting as you did talking, maybe you wouldn't take all this damage straight to your face, Bear Drills.
Damn.
So that's 6 points damage on you there, Bear Drills.
I'll survive.
Will you survive?
Maybe. Unless Chad helps us out with some rerolls if they got enough points.
I still got a villain point, y'all.
How about you just you just forget about that point?
She hasn't needed it so far.
So far. Yeah, but honestly, I get clobbered by damage. So I'm like, Grandma, I need tips.
Here's a tip. Get up.
You don't need to make it look quite that good, boys. You gotta fight back at least a little bit. Give them a good show before you whip their butts.
I am fighting back, Grandma.
She's just looking down and shaking her head and going, pathetic, boys, pathetic. As that winged bird creature is going to step up to you, Tehwas, and you hear that continual squawking and screeching that he's doing.
Shut your damn beak.
That's right, so he can still get up to you, even moving at half speed, and be able to take a swipe with his claw at you.
That's right, you're taking a -2 because you're entangled.
That's right, he's going to take a -2, so he is going to swing at you with a +4 here on that talon.
I can take that.
And let's see, does this hit your KAC?
No, it doesn't. It misses by 1.
It misses by 1. All right, so old Screech Nelson just goes rah, rah, as he's just swinging wildly and saying, "Go down, go down!" Rah!
Gotta tell you, this is a bit of a change of pace. I'm used to actually being beaten by the opposition.
Oh, Beach, I'm just getting warmed up. You're no better than the rest of us. You should just join Skulk Nation now.
Oh gosh, I have standards, please.
Good talk, Tehwas. Please do damage with it next time. 'Cause I'm dodging rebars.
No, I'm getting this conveyor belt working so you can jump on it and ride around like a bear on a unicycle.
All right, so Squirms over here, the Cheekery, is going to shift over, and you're going to be flanked, Bear Drills. You've got these little writhing, tentacly creatures on either side of you.
No, could have honestly mission that I had my shield up, kind of pointing at the squig boy. For +1. Yeah, and it's a 2.
Sure.
Ah, suck it, squid. Can't do nothing with all your limbs.
We're just playing with you before we make you join Skulk Nation. Blah, 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 as it continues to taunt and trash talk.
That's the taunt.
What kind of scream is this?
Look, he's a squid person, okay? The fact that he can actually say anything intelligible is probably pretty impressive.
I want to start.
He also squirts you with ink.
People are going to make gifts
coming.
out of you. That's the scary part. All right.
All right, so Litigator, you're up.
Help us, Dave.
All right. Dave will quickly run over here to get himself behind the Skittermander in the backwards cap, because backwards cap.
Heck yeah. Backward skull cap.
So we should be flanking. I should be flanking with Bear Drills now, and then with a flourish, he will pull out his gun. Here's a special move that I call gun to the head. Pull the trigger.
Jeez.
Is that even legal?
I just want all your moves to be just straight to the point, very specific. No special flair.
Punch to the gut, knee to the groin, gun to the head.
Okay, you
All
shoot
right.
your gun. Oh.
Oh no!
Oh no! So you were trying to shoot the Skittermander there, right? Skitscat?
It doesn't really matter who I was trying to shoot, does it?
So both the Skittermander, both Skitscat and Granny P and Mama Martha, all three of them are just gonna kind of all turn and look at you and be like, "Do we really need to send your grandma out here to save your hide again?"
Here's a special move I call the latest in a series of continuing embarrassments.
His name's Dave.
Embarrassments is right. We're gonna go be somebody else's grandma and mama.
Oh
No,
dang.
don't leave me, Grandma. Please look. I can do it. But just watch. I assume it's my turn now, or does he still need to?
It is.
Okay.
Not you,
Can you take
Corey.
out
You're
that
a very good boy. You're a very, very good boy.
Awesome.
Now
Got that
smash!
squid.
I think I hit the squid last time, so it's like have no fear. I will not let these ruffians defeat us. Be gone, squid, and I face the bear drill, and basically come right in. I want to use my reroll. I'm gonna use my
use the
reroll
point.
that chat gave me.
I'm gonna let you
And-
do that instead of using my villain point because y'all are kind of
it's
sad
even
at the moment.
worse. No.
You're flanking.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 5 plus worthless.
You rolled a 5 plus suck is what you rolled, Peyton.
Don't you taunt me. I didn't move 3,000 miles to deal with your crap, Amanda.
Did you really not? Because I feel like right now you're dealing with the crap and you did move 3,000 miles. So, John, it's your turn.
Oh, hang on. You got anything else there? You got anything else there, Bear?
Can I like
got your
attack
shield?
again? And so I do have my shield, so I guess I can point the shield to the two, I guess, in that direction, if that's how shields work. I apologize. I don't really get to play vanguards at all. So I assume I can like direct my shield towards like the camel guy,
Towards
the Skittermander.
somebody.
Yeah, toward I guess the camel guy, because he's been successful in beating me with a pipe.
Good.
This
I
would all be
mean-
very, very different if the conveyor belts were run. Help us out, Tehwas.
All right. I mean, I was going to run over to the computer, but now I'm surrounded. So I'm going to sort of take one of my hands off of my gun. I'm going to pull out this injection pen that I have that is beefy enough to punch holes in a fellow cephalopod, and I'm just going to drive it into the Chicory's head.
All right, go for it.
Bang! Let's do that.
Oh come on!
Oh
with
no!
you. You know what? I have one of these rerolls too, so
And we will let you use that instead of the villain point because
We're
chat, I
dead.
really feel like
We're really
this
dead.
group needs help.
We have no chance to live. We're freaking dead.
whee! Alrighty, so that's jamming in for a 14 KAC for 2 damage.
All right, that's gonna hit the KAC. That's on the Interrogating, correct?
That's right, and that's going to be another one of those wonderful pharmaceuticals that's trying to entangle and encumber him. So give me another
Okay.
fortitude save, DC
All
14.
right, excellent. So let me adjust his HP there, and fortitude save again is just a flat D20 for this guy, and that's a
Perfect.
12.
So you're also encumbered and entangled.
Also encumbered and entangled. All right, so I'm going to take some penalties to my attack. I'm going to take some penalties to my movement speed, and in general, that his Chikri is going to try to like, but as that noise just kind of catches at the back of his throat, all he sounds like he's saying is "Nation," while he's clearly having some trouble with himself at the
It's
moment.
just-
I'll lean
is he
down
having,
and just be like, "Oh, you're so articulate."
I'm imagining he's wearing a helmet that just is like filled with water, and every time he gets angry, it just bubbles foam.
That's right, he's got bubbles foaming out of his mouth. Anything else on your turn there, Tehwas?
That's going to be it because I really wanted to get to that conveyor belt, but soon.
Soon, all right.
That's when our luck will change.
All right, so we've got Bear Drills. You were surrounded by a few wrestling fanatics in
Doing my
there.
job.
You are doing your job. So the Skittermander, who seems to have a little bit of a better lay of the area and the situation, is actually going to run back up to this walkway.
But attack of opportunity for him running.
Yeah. and provoking
Yeah.
an attack of
Time to
opportunity from you.
suck it, Skittermander. You're not helpful at all. Entropic strike.
No!
No!
Jeez.
Why have you forsaken me, Starfinder?
And as the Skittermander just dives up
we
under
made
your
you.
claw.
Like, listen to us.
We can unmake you.
No, you can't, because I'm gonna jump off of this parapet onto the Litigator as he activates his hyper ability and attempts to jump on you. So what we're gonna do, Litigator, is we're gonna have you make an acrobatics check to see if you can avoid him. Otherwise, you're gonna take the falling damage from this guy. As he
That's
just
the thing that I'm technically capable of doing.
swan dives off of this parapet here.
Well, it wasn't an obvious failure.
You got
it
a
may have
14.
been a failure nonetheless.
Yeah, you're way
Alright.
better at this than a lot of us.
So why don't you tell me what you're doing? You've got this Skittermander who has got a backwards baseball hat on with a big blazing skull logo as he just belly flops off of this parapet onto you, going, "For Skunk Nation! For Skunk Nation!" What are you doing, Litigator?
I'm gonna look up as he's about to jump off of the thing, and then hands to the side, John Woo gun, finger gun, and then just sort of dive out of the way in slow mo as he face plants directly into the ground. And then sort of blow the smoke off my finger guns, like, whew, nice try.
I have something that I'd love to add to that for you, Litigator. When he falls over, you can just drop him another business card, because clearly there's a safety violation if somebody's falling from those catwalks.
Definitely. I got a lot of these.
Somebody can be sued, and the Litigator's gonna find out who. All right, so when he does that, we're gonna say that he is prone as he does that. He's gonna be able to avoid some falling damage himself, but we're just gonna say that he is down, so he'll have to get up on his next turn. We'll put a little snail on there. Ooh, not that. We're not killing him just yet.
He ain't dead yet.
All right, so after the dive bombing attempt from the Skittermander, Mr. Skitscat over there, we have got our camel-shaped friend who is in front of you, Bear Drills, and has got that serrated piece of metal as he jabs out at you and just says, "Just surrender now! We're giving you a better show than you can even make yourselves. The Skulk is gonna just wipe the floor with you. You'll thank us later."
Never! Remember, kids, never quit! Follow your dreams! Become a lawyer! And I basically, shields up.
Right.
That is... that's a failure!
All right, so you just jump out of the way as he lunges forward and kind of is starting to catch his breath a little bit, but as he does that, he's going to shift over here. And now it is going to be the entangled, screeching Espraka's turn, who is next to you, Tehwas, as he is trying to flap his arms, and he's taking a penalty to his attacks of -2 because of your pharmaceutical, correct?
That's right.
All right. So what he's going to try to do is he is actually going to try to flail those talons at you twice. He's going to make a double attack. So these are both going to be just flat D20 rolls.
All right, well, I'm -2 because I'm flanked. That hits. One of them hits.
And the other one
does not.
Does not hit. Okay, so one of them hits as you are going to go ahead and take this 1d. So it's 1d3. We'll see what the d3 is, and it's going to be +1.
We need to equip Grandma with like a long-range healing gun.
So it'll be 2 points of total damage. Sorry?
We need to equip Grandma with a long-range healing gun.
Yeah, you do.
Just shoot syringes in the people, and you're like, "Grandma, need a pickup." She's like, "Gotcha, honey." And then
give me another shot of Brawlamahal.
Probably retrofit that.
We'll figure it out later.
Took a couple of points of damage there from that Espraka. All right, so because he hit with one of the talon, let's see, he is going to go ahead and...
You can do it, Tehwas. Don't worry. Me and Litigator's got this side. You got those two things, right? Right? Or do you need help with the squiddy?
Take the squid.
All right, I'll take the squid. Squid, you're going down.
You finish what you started.
Well, I thought you had it. You're obviously a hero. You could take two of them, right?
Have you watched me in any of our matches? No, you don't. You just throw me.
No,
through a
I did.
wall.
I
Come
punched you and nearly took you out. So with that logic, I'll help.
on. Yes.
All right, so that Asprach is actually going to be grappling you with that talon because he hit with one of his talons, so he's got the an ability that lets him grab you, so you're going to be grappled.
Oh no.
For the
And that's
next
automatic.
turn. And Squirms, who's right there in front of you, Tehwas, and actually in between you and Bear, is going to, let's see, attempt to whack at you, Tehwas, with that knife that he's got in his hand, made of the serrated metal.
He's got a knife.
Let's see if this hits you.
Every one of your fingers has a knife.
Oh, is that gonna hit you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it. That's
All
a
right.
21 total.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Ooh, 5 points of damage as he stabs you with that knife. What's your stab?
Crucial error in judgment, guys. Looks like these guys have practiced.
Practice.
So Litigator, it is your turn now.
All right, so is there like a folding chair or a barrel or any other large object nearby that I could just pick up and smash over the Skittermander's head?
Well, there's that ladder that is right next to you that is pretty rickety, and even though the Skittermander has been up and down it, you noticed out of the corner of your eye that it is pretty creaky, and you could probably grab it without much trouble.
All right, I will try to grab the ladder, then just smash it over the prone Skittermander's head.
All right, why don't you make me a strength check?
Yeah, that's something I'm good at. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're right. You weren't good.
Actually,
You got an 8.
it's hanging by just a little bit of a thread of aluminum there. I think that's perfectly fine. You're gonna be able to grab that, and why don't you make an attack roll against that Skittermander to see if you're just gonna whack him over the face.
Okay, that is, I assume the ladder counts as an improvised weapon, but
Yeah.
he's also prone on the floor. So
He is.
let's see how this goes.
Let's see his.
Yeah, just spam it 3 times and take the higher
Yeah, I don't
one.
know. The first one didn't take for whatever reason. But yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, first one was
So
a
that-
6.
Honestly, that 6 is gonna hit him with his reduced. Oh no, it's not. It's 1 off of hitting him. Oh, so he's just gonna
It
roll
actually,
to the side.
Sorry, it should have been, with his reduced armor class by 4.
Yeah,
The 6 is, yeah. Okay,
it's
never
1
mind.
off because that's gonna be against his KAC.
Damn.
Just 1 off. So he rolls to the side, but you've still got that ladder in your hands, which is a pretty good strategy there. All right, Cord, what are you gonna do with all these wrestlers that are just trying to jump you?
Okay. All right, so where you get to learn a little bit more about the Vanguard, because it takes time to read books, and I got to make the game here, so hopefully this goes smooth. All right, I want to use one of my entropic points, which I assume I got because I took damage higher than basically my level type of deal, so I got a point basically during that. At the start of my turn, I assume, just to make sure I get the mechanic to work, I use one of those points, or dedicate one of those points, because I want to use that for possibly extra damage. Is that a thing?
Yes. Yes,
Cool.
it is.
So just to make sure I get this right, and for people who haven't got to play Vanguard, so we can kind of use it like a tutorial, all right, so I spent a point, which I was using as my little red marker here, so bam, so I got more power in the fist, and I look directly at Squid Boy, and they go like, and now you will face Mega Bear Punch, and basically entropic strike at him. I get no bonuses to attack, correct? Just normal flat out stuff, it's just damage.
That's right.
Cool.
Yes.
So, well, bam, 1 punch, and it's a nice things to say about the Queen of England. Just a 6 in total.
Have
Unfortunately,
any of us rolled a 2-digit number? Yes. Yet.
Once.
unfortunately, Bear Drills.
I just said
That was a great idea.
it's don't worry about it. It's just someone else's turn now. Let's just go.
And I'm not saying that that Squirms there, the Squid Man, is wiggling his tentacles mockingly at you, but I am just gonna say that he's making that noise, even though he's entangled and encumbered. He's still gonna be able to waggle those tentacles at you.
Can
Grandma shouts over.
Wait.
Hey, Bear! I thought that you were the strong one.
Wait. I don't know if there's like a thing. I can do. I don't know what skill it would be for me. Like as an action, like even when I miss, I try to recover with it to kind of like show them like trying to put on a show. Like I'm like just doing some fake punches and stuff. What skill would that help me out with? Bluff. Okay, so oh, I got a 0. Good luck. And you couldn't see the thing, but you can see the chat thing there, and it's a 7. Gotcha.
All right, so Bear, unfortunately, you have a little bit of egg on your face as it's clear that you tried for one of your patented bear drills punches, and you just missed. You just missed this little squirmy squid creature.
Got this, Tehwas. Good luck. Good luck.
Anything else on your turn there, Peyton?
That's all I can do. Even with the flanking and all that, I'm pretty doomed.
All right. I got this. I'm going to
It's all part of the plan. Don't worry.
I'm going to full attack the squid while the squid is clearly busy dodging this huge bear claw. So I'm going to make 2 rolls. Each of these is going to be -4. I don't think it's going to be incorporated automatically. Actually,
it's all right.
I can put that right in here. Great. So here's number 1, and
hey, this is 17.
Number 2. Oh yeah.
Yeah, both 17.
So I stab the squid twice for a total of 4 points damage.
So even with you being grappled, and even with all of the things going on, things aren't going your way, you're gonna hit with both of those.
Do we still have a squid?
We do not still have a squid. Tell us what you're doing there, Tehwas, while you're just grinding the squid's face into the ground to show that the Skulk Nation is no nation at all.
So I'm going to
his death scream.
I'm going to look up at Bear Drills as he misses with another claw, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, Bear, here's an anatomy lesson. Squids stab. When they get scared, stab. Spread ink all over the place, stab," and just sort of anime splashes all over the place as the X.T.R.E.M goes down.
Oh, God, that's disgusting. Did you kill him?
Don't know, and I'm not liable for it. You hear that? Dave, cover me.
I got you, buddy.
You can hear as soon as that exchange happens, Granny again stick her head in front of the camera drone and say, "Don't worry, no squids were harmed in the production of this stream." And
that's why we have this thing on a 30-second delay.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Granny, rewind and cut out the stabbing.
You're doing great. Leave it to the heel to turn y'all's performance around. Oh, I'm thinking that I'm behind the wrong wrestler, if you know what I'm saying. Boy, get out there and do better. She's shouting at you, Litigator.
I thought our heroes did something. I'm done.
All right, so we've got the Skittermander now, Skit-Scat, who, as you remember, did a swan dive off of the walkway above, landed on his belly. It took a ladder to the face. Litigator, you are holding that ladder up over him, and he is actually prone. So what he's going to do is have to spend a move action to get up, and he is going to... he's actually going to try to shift away from you. It does not Starfinder.
Okay.
No, he's going to shift away from you on a guarded step, as he's clearly a little bit taken aback by the fact that you, La Malscripcion, have not held back at all, and that it looks like something very bad and very real has happened to Squirms back there. But he's still kind of snarling and looking at you guys and being like, "Skulk Nation will bring you down. That's right. We're going to get you. We're going to show you who's really the best wrestlers in the Pact Worlds."
Us.
No, us and Boltneck Terry.
Oh, no, I heard us. That means us, right?
No, that means us. Wait, who's us? You? Us?
Us.
Oh, whatever.
And that's why Boltneck Terry doesn't have flanking anymore.
And Boltneck Terry does not have flanking anymore, as he is going to stab. He's going to swing that piece of rebar at you, Bear Drills.
Oh, come and get some.
That's right, and he's going to do it at a...
I'm no longer flanked anymore, so it works.
You are not.
Ha! Suck it, camel! The bear is best!
Actually, that's very hurtful. I really don't like it when people call me camel, but you're still going down!
You're going to have to deal with it because you're going in the ground.
Is actually going to shift away from the Litigator, who's still got that very menacing ladder that you're lifting up over your head.
I think it's menacing now. Wait until I hit something then.
That's right. All right. So, and now we've got Screech Nelson, who's down here, screeching away as he is going to just try to hit you again there, Malscripcion, and that's again going to be just 2 flat d20 rolls.
I'm going to wave this syringe at him and hope that he has a better thing coming. There you go. Thinking's good. Oh, those are terrible. Yeah, they don't do nothing.
All right. So Screech Nelson.
Can we like
It's just-
email Roll20 to get new dice?
These dice are defective. We would need new ones. So Screech Nelson isn't going to do anything. That's a full attack. That's his entire turn. Squirms is just dead. We need to take him out of the initiative tracker here. Litigator, you got a ladder. What are you going to do?
Let me remember something. If he didn't hit anything, am I still grabbed?
No, you're not.
Sweet.
You are no longer grappled.
Well, you ask, I've got a ladder, what am I going to do? And the answer
Indeed, it's your
obviously is,
turn.
I've got a ladder, I'm going to hit somebody over the head with it.
Good.
All right.
Can I move into that space next to me with the stairwell thing over it?
With the ladder? Yeah, do you want to move right up next to the Skittermander?
No, I want to move in the opposite direction, so I'm flanking the camel with Bear.
Oh, yes, you can do that.
Okay, I will do that, and then I will just try to bring down the ladder over the camel's head.
All right, so make me an attack roll. Melee attack roll.
All right,
Litigator.
bam,
Against
here
his
we go.
KAC.
Well, nope.
He's flanked.
He's
Actually,
flanked, but it's also
that
an improvised weapon.
Yep, but that doesn't hurt you on attack, so that is just gonna hit.
Woo! About damn time.
All right, roll d6 damage,
much-
and we'll say this is bludgeoning
All right, see it.
because it is improvised.
Well, could have been worse.
2 points of damage as the Dramata kind of seems like he might be kind of getting what's going on. Maybe he doesn't even know that this is really real as he just kind of lurches forward and goes, oh, and very dramatically reaches his arms out while he takes that smack against the back with the ladder. And you hit him pretty solidly there, Litigator. Anything else you're going to do?
I'm out of actions, but I assume that as a free action, I can certainly gesture towards the camera and just sort of shake the ladder.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you catch Granny's eye when you do that. And she's just like, finally, boy, finally, you're stepping it up. That's right. Keep it up. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. And she's just going to start shouting, Litigator, Litigator, as your mom is jumping up and down behind going, Litigator, Litigator. And you got your own personal fan club back.
Yes,
Litigator.
please validate me.
Please give me all the support and praise you never did when I was a child.
Are you complaining about that again, boy? Come on. We're being nice to you now. Take it when you can get it. Litigator.
I'm beating people up just like you raised me to. When are you going
I've
to be
never
happy?
been so proud. Got a tiny tear that rolls down her eye. All right, so Cord, it's now your turn.
Cool. I'm going to steal Baron's little line there that he did in chat. I'm going to manipulate. I just don't want to give credit to him because he's the one who wrote it. Excuse me. So basically, I'm basically going to like lift up a hand, look dead straight, and at pretty much the camel dude and be like, it's now time. I've been missing all of Mike's strikes, but this is the one. This is the one. I can feel it. I will fail thy foes. I will grind them in the dust. My strength is great, and my cause is just. Earthside smash, and I basically entropic strike, and
Yeah.
I get that's 12, but I'm flanking. It's 12 plus the flanking.
And you're
Should do it.
you're hitting the Dramata, right? That is
Yeah,
absolutely gonna hit.
Yes, it's 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
Sign smash, and I basically like try to do like an uppercut thing as hard as I can, flex as much as my muscles doing it, trying to broadcast like the cut in like I Heart Mom, like shave parts of the arms, and like right and try to do his pose as well as I can for the camera while punching him.
All right.
It's one of those classic combos. First you hit him with a ladder, and then you hit him with a bear.
It's like teamwork
That's
makes the dreams work. Let's do it, Litigator. And then
You hear the camera drone just go as it rustily makes its way towards you, and it doesn't have a zoom function, so it's just like physically moving itself forward as it's like zooming in on that just nasty strike that you hit that Dramata with, as he just kind of spins around and he's looking a little bit wobbly on his feet as you can just see a little line of blood running down his mouth, and you see his eye stalks are quivering a bit as he's just like, Skulk Nation never dies, never gives up, never loses. Oh, this really hurts. He's still up.
Gonna put
But he's
Skulk
not
Nation in
looking
the
good.
ground, boy.
Tehwas, are you going to help put Skulk Nation into the ground?
If by into the ground you mean start up a little mechanical thing that they can grind their faces into, then yes, absolutely. So I'm going to look at our bird brain over here. I'm going to say, looks like the rest of your team's almost down. Time for a chicken dinner second course. I'm going to start moving away, which will provoke an attack of opportunity.
All right, so he's going to take a Talon, and he is going to swing at you.
Still got the encumbered -2.
That's right, so it's just going to be a d20 plus 4 here.
Oh,
Good
what I
shot.
wouldn't do for a d20 plus 4. Oh yeah, that hits me.
That's going to hit you. All right, and so that'll be just a d3. We're rolling a d6 because we don't have a d3 here.
Okay,
All right.
another point of
There's
damage.
only one piddly point of damage.
One piddly point of damage as he just goes and swipes at you and just barely catches a little bit of your mollusk flesh. I
That's right.
suppose. That's
Proudly.
right. All right.
And I'm going to check out whatever this terminal is over here.
All right. So you see that it is like the litigator pointed out that it is electronics. It is functional. There's a little bit of there's a panel where there's like a little metal door that's kind of hanging off, and you see that if you could rewire some things and get those connections to be solid again, you could. That would pretty much automatically turn on these conveyor belts.
I'm ready to start soldering.
All right.
Is that going to be some engineering? Because I still have
Yeah.
a standard action left.
Yep, that'll be engineering.
Excellent. Ugh. I start fumbling at wires.
You start fumbling out with you hear a whirring sound starting, and these mechanics of this entire terminal. It doesn't quite start up, but there's a very slow kind of movement coming from the beginning of the conveyor belt. You think maybe if you were to do that again, give it just a little bit more of a tweak, that you might be able to turn them on.
Perfect. I'll call out, "Hey, Dave, almost have what you're looking for." And then I'll be done.
All right. So it's back up to Skitscat, our Skittermander, who has not taken any damage yet. And Skitscat has just got his teeth bared out as he is, again, looking a little bit nervous of what happened to Squirms there. But he's going to rush at you, Litigator.
Yeah.
And he's just going to start to go and bite at you and say, "Litigator flesh is the tastiest flesh."
Well, you're not wrong there. We had to take that line out of my ad for a reason.
Line? What line?
That's a nat 20. Why does the enemies get the 20?
No. All right.
Hey, you should use your evil point to reroll.
Yeah,
I should
it's
not
not good
use
enough.
my
It's,
evil point
it's not,
to
it's not
reroll.
good enough. Gotta get a 40 on that roll. It's not good
I
enough.
mean, chat, what do you think about me using my evil point to reroll? I don't think that is the proper use of rerolling.
Can we get evil points? Like, what's going on here? But no, you got.
All right, so he's gonna bite you. He's probably not gonna do a lot of damage because it's actually a D4 -2. So.
Oh, he's got cute little teeth.
Can he like
Let's see
roll
if
a
I can
1
get this
and
to
then get
work.
negative and we get healed?
No,
like
it'll
that?
be a minimum 0.
Yeah, it's like a
Minimum
-1,
0.
right? Oh,
Cool, I feel great.
awesome! He just
So
gave you a pat.
That's actually 0, but what he's going to do is he is going to, that even because he hit you, that initiates his attach ability. So he's going to roll a special combat maneuver, even though his teeth really just kind of itch and they don't hurt too bad. He is going to try to attach himself to you, and that's with a +4 bonus. So is this going to hit your KAC +8? What's that total there? 12. I'm guessing that does not hit your KAC +8.
It does not.
Okay, so he's trying to attach himself to you, but you just shake him off.
Is he prone again?
No, he's in that square just adjacent to you. Have you guys
Can
ever
he
seen
be
Animal
prone again?
House?
I wouldn't be.
I mean, if you slap him down.
Darn it!
Well,
tried.
let's see what this ladder can do.
See what this ladder can do. All right, so now Boltneck Terry. I can't actually select your token. There we go. Okay, I was just checking you. All right, so Boltneck Terry. is gonna see his little friend trying to attach himself to you with his vicious little skull backwards cap there, and he's gonna swing at you with that barbed wire wrapped piece of rebar.
Oh, no. Don't do that. Is it swinging at me or?
He is swinging at you. Is that 14 gonna hit your KC? He misses you, all right. So he just swings wildly as he shifts back to the side here. Beside you, Litigator.
Run.
He's using you as a meat shield against the bear.
That's bad.
I really appreciate this. I'm glad that our team isn't the only team that misses.
That's right. So Screech Nelson is just going to, and he's going to fly to try to get himself a little bit closer to the action. And he's going to drop down right here, but that's going to be both of his. He's going to need 2 move actions to do that. So he's not going to be able to attack with those talons again this turn. While it is your turn, Litigator.
Do I get an attack for opportunity on the bird?
No, because he did not leave a threatened square.
Okay. Wait.
Well,
No.
obviously.
Nah. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Keep going.
All right,
Yep.
Litigator.
I'm going to try and hit Screech with the ladder because I got him flanked.
All right, do it.
Let's see if this works better than the last 6 times I tried it. No?
You are flanking him.
Yeah, you actually hit him with the flanking.
Yeah! That's
And he's entangled still.
1d.
He is. How much damage did you do there against Screech Nelson?
3! Slightly
3.
better than last time.
All right. He's rethinking his decision to enter in the middle of the fray because now he's got a giant bear on one side and a ladder-wielding Dorindy on the other side.
So I will smack him across the face with the ladder and then turn around and realize that I am flanked by a camel and a skittermander. And
One who's trying to attach himself to you, no less.
yeah, well, the bigger problem for me is that the camel is between me and that conveyor belt. That is good.
Could you start pushing the camel toward the conveyor belt?
I could
You
certainly
could.
try, but you know
You
what they
could
say.
try a
You
bull
can't
rush.
push a camel onto a conveyor belt.
Well, you
Did
can
they
push
say
it on. You can push a camel onto conveyor belt, but you can't make it run.
But you can, Tehwas.
Yes, you
Ooh.
can, Tehwas, and you are very close. Cord, it is now your turn, Bear Drills.
Good. I was trying to read up based on Vanguard's ability for me to go to an adjacent ally and do some helpful things, but I can't go adjacent to him without ruining some plans. Unless technically, I think I would technically be still flanking multiple of them, so I would be kind of flanking.
Yeah, you can shift over.
Well, no, that wouldn't be. I could shift over. I wouldn't be flanking. So I'm going to stay where I'm at because that's pretty much been a good plan so far. And I'm going to Entropic Strike the bird.
All right.
For all that is holy. I hit this time. It's a 19. It's 7
That's
damage.
right, you do.
Just
That's right, you
end.
do. Did
You're-
you spend a point to do extra damage, or is this just a normal
No,
entropic
'cause I don't
strike?
have. I can't generate points right now because no one's been hitting me. So
What? Well, we're gonna have to fix that. We got a
Oh,
camel
dear.
with a piece of rebar with your name on it.
let's
Poor
not
you.
let's not get crazy now. That means if they don't hit me, that means I'll win regardless. But I did 7 points of damage to the birdo.
7
I
points
really
of
like
damage
the
to
idea.
Birdo.
I really like the idea that Bear Drills narrates how he's doing, where it's like he swings like, I hit! Did you see that? That's awesome! For crying out loud, I did it again! I missed!
I'm so
Well, you know,
disappointed in myself.
Some of our audience is a little bit on the slow side, so we got to explain what's going on. Ow! My blood! It's leaking out of my body! I need that to live!
You hear the telltale whirring of the camera drone just go up as it pulls up right in front of you, and you are able to monologue right to it, Litigator, if you want to describe exactly what's happening right now.
Definitely.
All right, so you just do that, and you hear Granny just clapping back there, and the voice of the kiddo is kind of breaking in and out as the feed is wobbling a little bit, and you can just hear that he's like, "Great job, kick there, do it, investors, extreme." and then
Extreme.
the video cuts out again. This is a good time for me to remind chat that every time you see or hear somebody's pet in their house walk in front of a camera or bark in front of a microphone, if you call it out, I will generate a random wrestling name, and that will have to be incorporated into the game at whatever point is happening at the current moment. And someone in chat has indeed called out Cat Attack. That's my cat, Gwen. She's walked in front of the camera, and that means that Cord, so Tehwas, when it is your turn, Tehwas, when it is your turn, you are gonna have to incorporate something called the Hurricane Arm Dive.
Hurricane Arm Dive.
But before you do that, Cord, do you have anything else you're doing?
No, that was my full turn. My bad. I can't really move to do a thing. I'm staying with the flanking position. I've already meleeed, and I don't think there's any super special Vanguard abilities I can do while just standing here.
I think you're pretty much done.
Yep, I'm
All
done.
right. Tehwas, how are you going to showboat as much as possible, incorporating the Hurricane Arm Dive into your turn?
There is only one arm I can see that's worth my using. So, I'm going to abandon this little pile of wires. I'm going to hop up onto this vehicle with the giant mechanical arm.
Do it.
And I'm going to try to turn it on in a way that I can drive it forward a little bit and swing whatever this mechanical arm is in a way that hopefully does not just knock Bear Drill's head off.
Oh, perfect. All right. So are you aiming at anyone in particular? You're pointing right at...
I'm taking out
Screech.
Mr. Ramada.
You're taking out Boltneck-Terry there is in your sights.
Yeah, because if it's a hurricane arm, I feel it has to go horizontally. If it were vertical, I'd slam down on Screech face. But no, I'm taking out Boltneck-Terry.
All right. Why don't you make me a piloting check to see if you are going to be able to urge this thing forward and smack Boltneck-Terry down?
Of course I'm going to be able to. It's a hurricane arm dive. I have to be able to do this well. I mean, check this out. That's 12. I mean, that's as average as I can roll.
Yeah, it's close enough. I mean, it seems like a succeeding number to me.
All right. What I'm going to have Boltneck-Terry do is I am going to have him make a reflex save, which is not a fantastic save for him.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Boltneck-Terry does not see this car. He does not see this piece of equipment coming. He does not see this arm that is just about to smack him down. You're going to be able to drive it right into him, but I want you to tell us exactly how you're performing this hurricane arm dive on this Dramata.
So it's almost like one of those like top to bottom cross the body backhands, but with a giant mechanical arm. So this is just, see how it has almost like a hammer at the end of it? I figured that it's driving into the back of the Dramata, who is backing away from Bear Drills, and it's just going to knock him right back in toward Bear Drills. But unfortunately, there's a bird in the way. So I don't know what goes on from there, but I'm sure I'm doing some damage to whatever this camel face is.
I'm sure you can still bring it to me.
Oh, so you just skewer him with that arm as you backhand him with it, and he is actually going to just fall over and just go, oh, Skulk Nation, never, as he is down.
Hurricane arm dive!
And you can hear sound coming from the camera drone with wow kinds of screaming noises. It must be from the crew that's assembled on the other side of the camera there. And Granny P just stands up, and Mama Martha jumps up on her shoulders, and they're just clapping wildly and screaming, and they're waving T-shirts with the litigator's face on it, and they're going, Tehwas, 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 Tehwas.
I'm going to pause real quick and slip a business card into the camel's mouth.
It's going to get kind of bloody and foamy. Are you sure you want to do that?
It's the only conveniently, unless he has a pocket or something.
I mean, your cards are laminated. Yeah, your thing's laminated. You wash it off.
His eye stalks are kind of
they're blood-proof by design.
You can slip them between his eye stalks.
I have this concern that it's like, we're going to get a different group of PCs coming through here who are running an investigation. They're like, who could have possibly killed all these super fans? They find some business cards. Well, it seems to have an address on here, but who could it have been?
It can't be this easy to figure it out.
Figure it out. Yep, exactly.
What kind of idiot would leave his own name and address at the crime scene?
Clearly, they're framing this poor innocent lawyer.
Well, you see, it has to do with reality TV, and crazy things are done for views, kids. That just goes to show you. All right, so that's smack. You have smacked down Boltneck Tehwas. I believe that's going to be your whole turn.
Yeah, but that brings me to, like, having gotten both of the KOs this entire fight. I don't know what these other folks are doing.
Are you trash talking your teammates?
Yes.
Sound like a Malscripcion thing to do.
Bam!
All right, so that's your turn, Tehwas. And so now that Skittermander, who was trying to attach herself to you, Litigator, is going to again, this time, actually, she is just going to gnash her teeth and just kind of go skulk, 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 as she is going to make a double attack against you, make a full attack. And so that's not going to be real easy for her. She's going to actually take a -2 to each of these rolls. Let's see if either of these hit your KAC, Litigator.
Oh,
How about
wow.
that 0?
Ha! You too have been cursed with bad dice.
Do you know what? You know what? Just for that comment, I think I'm going to use my villain point.
Yeah!
I'm going to use my
What have you
villain point.
done?
Get another crit. Get another crit.
Give
I mean, actually, I shouldn't do this without surveying everybody and getting everybody's opinion. Hey, Granny P, do you think I should use my villain point? Well, yeah, of course you should use your villain point. You gotta make it exciting, right?
Granny, no, Granny. I thought you loved
Granny,
me.
yes, Granny, yes.
Granny, no, Granny, no.
It's called tough love.
Villain points a reroll.
Yes, suck it.
No. Oh, I'm trying to knock you guys down, but it is
And
not
with
taking.
pleasure, I want to click this thing in OBS. This goes boop. Now there's no more points.
All right, so Screech Nelson unfortunately sees the Skittermander just gnashing her teeth wildly, and is going to try to claw at the Litigator. In fact, before she does that, she is going to guarded step over on top of Boltneck Tehwas, which seems really rude. While she swipes with her talons.
Ha!
Swipes with his talons.
Cowards. No one wishes to fight the might of bear drills.
Bear drills who?
Hey, I'm better than you. Don't you call me out like that.
Join Skulk Nation and I'll stop.
No, never, Skulk Nation.
I don't know.
This is gonna-
Skunk Nation ain't doing so good lately.
It's gonna be a D3 plus 1, but I gotta roll the D6. Okay, that's actually gonna be 3 points of damage total against you there, Litigator.
Ow. I do not
As
care for that, but I
The
can live
bird
with
has
it.
flapped.
Hey, that's
The bird
foul
has
play.
flapped
You
at your
can't do
face.
that.
Oh, foul play.
Litigator.
Damn.
You might have chance for some revenge here, and you got that drone. The drone has now just buzzed between you and Bear Drills, expecting you to do something wild. What are you gonna do? Oh,
Well,
somebody
I'm still
saw a
holding a
cattail again.
ladder.
Hang on, you got the ladder, and somebody on chat has called out the cattail. So
also
what we
being-
are gonna need you to do?
Been caught up for my
Is-
terrible pun. Look, it was a low-hanging
Okay.
fruit, man. All right, don't judge me.
All right, so I am gonna need a straight jacket jaw lock from you, Litigator, with that ladder in your hand. What are you gonna do?
All right, the straitjacket jaw lock is obviously I spin the ladder around in a circle and then fold both arms in place like I'm holding a straitjacket to try
Yeah?
and like I'm being held in a straitjacket to try and jam the ladder directly into Screech's face.
All right, and you know what? Since that straitjacket move is taking up a lot of room, I'm actually gonna let you make attacks against both of those because they are right next to you. If you want to spin those around while you're putting your arms up in that straitjacket position, you can go ahead and
yeah,
roll 2 attacks.
that is what you do with a ladder. Come on.
That's what you
That's
do.
it. Nope.
Oh, that's a 4, and that's 14.
Possibly.
Well, the 14 is gonna hit the Skittermander. So why don't you roll a d6 damage to see how much you smack Skitscat in the face?
Slightly below average.
Hey, at least you hit.
Hey, that's not
Mhm.
nothing. Oh, right, so you just thump. So unfortunately, you miss your initial target as Screech just kind of jumps out of the way. But Skitscat is going to take it right on the backside of the face while you have successfully performed your signature straitjacket jaw lock, Litigator.
So obviously I will now face the camera and sort of pump the ladder up and down and go, jaw lock! Jaw lock!
Grandma is back there, Granny P, with her remote on the drone that is closing up into your face. And she is holding a big old thumbs up, and she's waving one of those glass encrusted batons that you guys pulled off of the Telias as she is shouting, "New merchandise! Jaw lock straitjackets! We're gonna be selling them next week, boy! We're gonna make all sorts of money. We're gonna be rich!"
Finally, a use for that truckload of straitjackets we found by the free.
I told you that they'd be worth salvaging. Didn't I not tell you just to stop and don't worry about getting arrested?
Wait, you were getting arrested by... What? How did you find a truck full of straitjackets?
Legal degree.
I don't know. It was just lying there by the side of the road.
Lying
like
there
a bunch of
by the...
recently worn straitjacket.
So you robbed a cleaner truck. Whatever.
It was down by the old insane asylum that burned down last month. Remember?
Look how we did or did not get 1,200 straitjackets that have been recently used is nobody's concern. All that they have to be concerned about is the fact that they're selling for $19.99, and that is a deal. A deal, especially when they are embossed with the straitjacket jaw lock move of my signature boy over there.
Can they find it at X.T.R.E.M.com for all their purchasing needs?
That's right, you go to xstream.com/thelitigator, capital T, capital L, and you can buy all the merchandise your heart desires, like these rhinestone sunglasses, and these t-shirts, and coming next week, straitjacket jaw lock, special $19.99. Dink!
You know, if we ever... Like, if everyone in chat basically helps us basically spread the word of our show and everything else, and we hit like basically 1,000 concurrent viewers one day, I will do everything in my personal power. Because I know some people who do like plastic molding stuff. I will make us like 3 lenses, like sunglasses.
Heck
and
yeah.
I will give, and next time we go to a convention, I will give that to someone who meets me at like a society event.
Can you make a
I will
an electric
wear
drill?
a rhinestoned straitjacket.
Yeah.
I will find, I have people, and I will find those people, and we will make it happen. So,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you saying you have a straight?
No, continuing on, my turn.
It's your turn now, Cord.
yeah, it is my turn. I'm not crazy. So basically, I am in the distance, and I assume I have a large thing of movement I can do. Because I want to use my movement to charge into the bird, but I want to get into position to where I can flank him. So I'm going to be going like all the way around. But I want to do a special thing. So Amanda, as a social guard, can you roll me a random wrestling thing?
I sure can. Let's see what we got.
So I want to see if it conveniently comes up with a nice name, which I'm probably going to miss this attack anyway. Because I'm trying to build up entry points right now. Because apparently, as a Vanguard, if I charge as my full thing, like charge and attack and stuff, I get a point.
So Peyton, this is not exactly entirely on brand for you, but it's not entirely off brand for you either, as you need to perform a giant panda body slam.
Okay,
and I think
cool.
that you need to incorporate body paint with that too, because you ain't no panda.
Yeah, all right, we'll just we'll wing with it. So basically, I'm like rushing around here, like so, bam, bam. I get on the conveyor belt, use like this wall portion, and basically jump off of it, going panda body slam. And basically land here, can't get it right on top of them. And as I'm coming down, one fist is coming straight down, or my entire belly, I don't even know, as an entropic strike. Just straight down into the bird creature. That's a 19 plus the stuff for a 22 to hit with 8 damage.
I told you the conveyor belt would work.
Does that hurt? Does that hit? That absolutely hits, Bear Drill. Why don't you roll your giant panda body slam damage?
Oh, I already did it. It does it for me. It did 8 damage.
8 points of damage. All right. So that is enough that you have just buried that bird person underneath the massive bulk of your body as feathers fly everywhere. And all you hear as you're coming down to flatten the creature to the ground on top of his poor, unfortunate Germata friend is as he dies and he stops moving. You have taken out Screech Nelson.
Ha, take it, but I take it, foul creature. The bear drills is always mighty and muscular and always defeats danger when it proposes itself to him. And, oh God, I'm getting tired. It's like, I'm just like exhausted at this point. So, it's like, I assume I look over to Granny and stuff with her
Granny
camera and
P
everything else. I
and
don't know
Mama
how
Martha?
excited is she with our excellent performance so far.
Oh, again, Mama Martha is on her shoulders. You've got Dorindy stacked too high as they are just going wild, losing their minds, clapping, cheering, pumping their fist, and they have switched over to your signature chant, which anybody who's a fan of yours would recognize. Drills, 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 as the camera is just moving back and forth, zooming in manually on your face while you roar in triumph.
Cool.
Granny
Right.
is, however, carefully editing out the few seconds where you actually committed murder on live camera.
Yeah, she cut the feed. All right, my turn is done.
Granny's gonna shout over to you, Litigator. It's a show, boy. Everybody thinks it's a show, remember?
So,
Yeah, just for future legal reasons.
Okay, villain, an evildoer gangster person, I have defeated this criminal. Remember, don't be a criminal, kids. Always help your grandmothers cross the street, and always help out those in need. And then passes off to Tehwas.
Tehwas, it is now your turn. There is one Skulk Nation, tiny little Skittermander who just so happens to be trying to attach herself to Litigator's face, still in front of you. You are on that. You're on that piece of equipment there. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't think that I can really drive this over a conveyor. So I think it's time to go back to what I'd originally been working on, which was this wonderful set of wires and conveyor belts. I'm going to try and set this thing up so that way, whether the litigator can use it to his benefit, or if they just want to throw a Skittermander into it, or if the Skittermander tries to run away and gets tripped by a conveyor belt, whatever. I need this thing moving,
Okay.
for personal accomplishment reasons.
Okay.
I'm going to try and piece that thing back together.
Oh.
Absolutely dreadful. I'd probably just set the entire refinery on fire.
You actually are just barely able to jump out of the way as there's a spark that lights that was going to just burn you. But thanks to your mask and your fairly quick reflexes, you don't take any. You're not going to take any damage. But again, there's just kind of that sparking, kind of pulsing energy that you're not quite able to get working again.
I have a question. When he messes with the panel and he rolls his one, is there in giant letters, does it say self-destruct sequence activated and a timer pops up?
Yeah, I think we should not assume that setting the refinery on fire wouldn't be a massive improvement to our ratings.
I mean, if you were able to get some of your new fans out of a burning building, I can't imagine that would be bad for your ratings. I mean, not
I
that
feel
that's
that-
advisable.
I feel that we've been missing an opportunity here, which is to be looking at the camera and saying, if we get another 100 subscribers in the next 5 minutes, we'll set the entire refinery on fire.
Wait, what?
sort of thing.
I mean, yeah.
I will totally say.
Stretch goals.
Granny
All right,
P
that's it
is-
for my turn.
All right, so that's your turn. All right, so this the Skittermander who's next to you again there, Litigator, is again just going to keep gnashing her teeth and is again going to just try to keep biting at you and just try to keep menacing you. Because nobody has, while she is a little bit intimidated of what's going on, and nobody has insisted that she back down. So she's going to go ahead and roll both of those attacks. Let's see how she does with a -2 on each of them.
Ha! Ha ha!
No, she just gnashes her teeth.
Nope.
And says, "Skulks never give up. Skulks never quit. Skulks never die." My friends aren't actually dead, are they?
Your friends are just sleeping. Have no worry about that.
That's what I thought.
You're going to go to sleep very soon. I'm just like pounding my fist into my palm, like just very, very soon.
At least one of them's probably still alive, but you might want to call an ambulance.
I can do that as soon as you all decide to back down and leave this place and admit that you're no match for the Skulk. Litigator, it's your turn while this trash talk is happening in your face.
Where is the Skulk anyway? Is he just going to leave this whole fight to his opening act?
Oh, he's
I will,
preparing. He's preparing for much better things. He's got an entire show. It's all upstairs. You're never gonna get there in time, though, so there's no point in even trying.
I'll try to crack the ladder of her skits.
Okay, go for it.
Oh my God! What the? It's a 2-digit number.
You
that's-
are gonna hit him square in the face.
That's so rare. Litigator! Litigator!
There we go.
That's
Yeah,
a 1.
1 point of
That's a
damage.
1.
Oh, and you're all cheering for the litigator as Granny P and Mama Martha are starting to applaud, and then they see how you just barely tink that ladder right off of the side of the Skittermander's fur, and they're like, oh, you were doing so well too, boy. You were doing well. At least we got the straight jackets that we can sell next week.
The ecstatic highs and crushing lows of a professional wrestling career.
You're not wrong, boy. You're not wrong. Are you doing anything else, litigator?
That's all I got.
Okay. Cord.
It is now time to charge again with another Earth sign charge, and I just loop all the way around in a full on actually. Basically, to imbue myself with power. Is that like a free action or an actual action?
What do you? I mean, you're just
Basically, okay. So just to help out what I'm trying to do, I have an entropy point right now because I charged last time. I want to use that to imbue myself to do extra damage. Can I do that and charge?
Do you want? Well, you can't actually charge because you have to go into a straight line, but you can move around him and hit him.
Okay, I'll just do that then. So move around.
Yes, you can
get the
clear
point.
you're using your entropy point to add your extra damage if you hit him.
Okay, cool. Entropy point. So bam. And please hit. No! Wait. He's flanked. It's 8
He is
total.
flanked, and that's against his EAC. That's an 8. 10, 11. That is gonna hit him. That just barely hits him.
Convenience. All right, that is 9 points of damage total. So with my entropy point buff thing, what else would I add?
You're gonna roll another D6 of damage.
So bam! That is +2 more damage. So 9, 10, 11 points of damage total. Just so boom.
Seems like enough to splatter this little
Smash.
guy across the factory floor.
Yeah, that's more than enough to splatter this little guy who, or this little lady here who was already a little bit worried that her friends might actually be really dead, except for just fake wrestling dead. So she's just gonna drop down and stop moving as you have totally just annihilated the members of Skulk Nation who stood in front of you.
I'll lift up my arms and like my shield and just like, I am strongest there is. And then I just quiet down, look around.
Echo there.
It's like quiet down, look around. I'm like, they're dead, aren't they? Whoops.
Let's check the doctor. Tehwas, are any of these guys still alive?
No, I'll check the squid first, seeing as I'm technically responsible for that one.
Granny, cut that for the.
Cut the feet. Cut the feet. Go to commercial.
Cut the commercial. Yeah.
Granny's just gonna go, whoa, oh, this is getting serious, as she uses her remote to get the drones to come back over to her, and she's starting to narrate.
Straight jacket commercials. It's like, when you need to combine all your things and keep your kids inside. Straight jacket, and then it's just.
Now
It's
we're
just
from our
a terrible
sponsor,
commercial.
Jimmy's Crime Scene Cleanup.
That's right.
I like how the straitjacket commercials also have it like in a T.R.E.M and a Skittermander using it so that each straitjacket has like 15 different arms.
So what are you doing there, Tehwas?
I'm checking for a mollusk pulse.
You're checking for a mollusk pulse. All right, so do you have any kind of healing or anything on you, Tehwas? Do you have a healer's kit or anything like that?
I have a med kit, and that's the extent of what I got.
All right, so the T.R.E.M, unfortunately, is just going to be dead.
Oh boy. Time to check
Granny,
the
get one of the
others.
bags.
You gonna
Yeah,
check the other ones?
I'll basically do my rounds of all of them and see if any of them still technically are alive.
Any of them are still technically alive. All right. So it looks like that unfortunately all of them are pretty much just expired.
I look up at my two companions and I'm just like, all right, so we have a couple options. 1, we act as though nothing happened. 2, we blame it on the Toidles. 3, we just start running and we try and find the skulk, and we blame it on him.
I take up our unfortunate expirees, and I walk over to the conveyor belt with the boxes, and I put them in the boxes. Then I seal the boxes, and then I look at Tehwas and go, "Do it."
Before you do that, I will carefully retrieve my business card.
I'm
He
really
won't be needing
concerned.
it where he's going, into a shallow grave in the desert.
I'm really concerned about the next Amazon shipment that's going to show up at somebody's door, and it's just like, oh boy, it's the book I ordered. Oh gosh, it's dismembered squid.
All right, so Bear Drills, are you actually shoving these Skulk Nation fans into boxes that are on the conveyor belts?
I'm not a bad person. Don't call me on it. I put them in the box.
Bear Drills, you did what you did. Come on, own up to it.
Just look. It's like, look, they challenged me. They're gonna kill me. They had knives. It was self-defense. I have footage.
I mean, it was honestly some self-defense.
So we're just
Any of you turtles know how to handle?
Oh,
Go
right.
ahead.
So the turtles are just gonna wander. They've been back with the car and with Mama Martha and Granny P back there, and they clearly have been a little. They clearly are trying to hide exactly how traumatized they are from this. They weren't necessarily expecting this amount of violence, although they're no strangers to violence at all. So they're not running away and screaming, but they're just gonna walk up to the Skulk Nation fans and just kind of look at them and, well, I mean, they did sign waivers, right?
Oh, that was their mistake.
I mean, the Skulk had us all sign waivers, and
Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to need you to sign these 2 blank sheets.
Toward the
but
bottom.
us, you need us to sign the sheets. What
Yeah,
what is
it's-
these?
It's just a
Autographs.
formality.
Say it one more time,
okay.
Andrew.
Oh, I said it's just a formality. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah, just don't worry about it. It just means you're even super fans and stuff. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. It's your membership in our fan club.
Yeah,
Well-
that means you are actual super fan. You now have physical documented proof.
Yeah, I'll fill in the rest of the text later.
This is terrible.
So
We're
the
bad
Telias are
people.
just gonna nod and just sort of like in a very scared way, be like, we'll sign whatever you want, boss. Okay, whatever you want. And then they're going to look at these Skulk Nation fans that you've got up here on the conveyor belt. They're gonna look back toward the car, which is technically their car that you technically stole from them because you are technically kind of criminals at this point.
No, we're not. We're heroes. And heroes take risky actions that look like we're criminals, like Batman.
That's
And
right.
also-
You're all part of the show, right, boys? Great.
Also,
Yeah.
we might be criminals on other planets, but on Akiton, pretty much anything goes.
That is right. We are on Akazon.
That's
we are
right.
also out in the middle of the desert. And you know what they say? When nobody can see you, there's no laws.
Then why are we being filmed?
If you want,
Cut
we
that
can
part of the
look-
footage, please.
Don't worry, boy. I got you. I know what it is and that we can show and what we can't show. So don't you worry about it. Granny P's got your back, boy.
I like the thought that every time one of us does something incriminating, all it does is just pixelate out our face.
Well, I mean, there is a production crew that's on the other end of this. The kiddo and the production crew of the entire previous event are all working their magic. So I don't have anybody coming after you now for all of this.
Yes, accomplices. Let's continue, boys. I find a club so I can I have my normal fist. I'll non-lethally punch people with a bear claw.
So the Telias, Three Toes and Cracklip Smitty over there, they're gonna say, if you want, we can take these guys back in the car and get back to some kind of civilization. We can get back to the arena, and maybe we can get them some healing, right? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, get them some help. Get them some help. Go.
We'll get
go
'em some
call.
help.
Yeah, go get emergency.
Yeah,
I'm
why
pretty
don't,
sure they're fine. I'm pretty sure they're close to
don't-
death, not dead.
Yeah, why don't you put these corpses in your trunk
Corpses?
and then I mean, sorry, these injured friends of yours into the trunk and then drive them into the city. And don't mention us though, because that's one thing super fans never do. They never mention the objects of their idolatry to law enforcement.
Yeah.
By the way, this car is licensed in your names, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I mean, we just got keys, so we just do what we's told, and you just told us that we need to take.
No, we didn't tell you anything.
Right? And we don't mention
Also,
you.
if you wouldn't mind, could you both put your hands all over these two glass-studded batons? And then we'll just stuff those into the trunk with the
Okay.
not
I think we're done now.
Whatever
And
you say.
scene.
Whatever you need us to do.
I'm pretty sure a lawyer is gonna like give us a call. I mean, like, yeah, about your last Extreme episode. I think there's some things that happened that need to stop. So I
You
think
might
we're-
want to lie low because you're probably wanted for murder.
Yeah. So
Anyway, so
yeah,
so
I guess
crack lip Smitty there.
yeah. I guess we help
And,
them out and stuff, and make sure they're patched up with whatever we got or whatever. Help them out.
Yeah,
and
so
send
you're
them off.
gonna let them drive off with the car with these super fans here who were standing in your way.
Yeah, that is our kind of impromptu ambulance.
All right.
Well, guys, I
so-
think that worked out pretty well.
Truly, we are the heroes that Akiton deserves.
I want us to make sure that we're live streaming us, like bandaging them, making sure they're okay, giving them water, applying proper medical procedures, and just making sure we're showing we're also good guys who help take care of our opponents after we clobber them near to death. Death.
I use
for
one of my hands to
get that on camera as much as possible. Yeah.
So
I use one
Granny
of my
P
hands to
will,
basically make one of the Ishtikri tentacles seem to like pat me on the back in thanks as I'm helping it off the ground.
Selfie time, boys. Take some selfies with your big fans. You just convinced them that you are the best wrestlers and not the skulk. Come on, let's get some good selfies with these boys. And Granny P is going to point the camera drone at you and as a group and encourage you to take some selfies with these super fans.
Yeah, just all awkward. Like everyone has like a lopsided like face and everything. One tongue sticking
Yeah,
out.
we'll just kinda- Just
It's
prop
basically
them up
Weekend at
against the
Bernie's.
conveyor belt. We'll all smile and I think it'll be great.
All right, so and she's like, "Don't worry, we'll edit out the gross bits. We'll edit out the bloody bits in post. You're doing great. You're doing great. The numbers of viewers are sky high. The kiddo keeps interrupting to let us know in our ears that everything is going wonderfully. So just keep it up. Just keep it up."
Excellent, boys. I guess we need to get up to the top. They said there was a thing going up at the top.
Yeah,
They
so
did
you,
imply that, yeah.
I will point out that you guys haven't actually really explored through this area at all. All you saw was that there are the conveyor belts, which Tehwas, if you want to go down there and take 10 or even take 20 to try to get those functional again,
Yeah.
you can
I'm
do
gonna
that.
take also that 10 minutes to get my stamina back.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
think
if you guys want to rest
that
around,
seems like a good idea across the
you've got that upper part of the warehouse sort of industrial area that you haven't really checked out at all.
Cool.
So, so Bear, you're getting your stamina back.
Yep. Get my stamas.
All
My
right, what about you,
staminas.
Litigator?
I'm also going to get my stamina back by relaxing in front of the camera and enjoying a delicious energy drink that sponsors us.
Brawler Mahal.
Yes, definitely Brawler the energy drink with alcohol.
Ooh, is that your official drink? Is that the official drink of the Litigator?
It will be if they
We can get your logo on it, boy. Just make sure that you look like you love it. This stuff is disgusting, Litigator.
Yeah, but I've been punched in the face a lot, so it's hard to tell.
I mean, liquid is liquid at this point. You're just dehydrated.
My taste buds are numb from the punches.
That's how medicine works, right? Liquid is just liquid.
Sure, why not? Ask Tehwas. He's a doctor, right?
That's right.
Think?
That's right.
I cannot approve of this self-medication, but I'm not going to stop you either.
Remember, kids, don't do drugs. But if you do drugs, do one that sponsors our show.
That's a terrible
Okay,
message. All right, go ahead.
So
Tehwas.
we check around here.
All right. So Tehwas, are you going to go back and mess with that conveyor belt at all, or are you just going to explore the rest of the area?
I'm going to see about messing with the conveyor belt, just make sure I can get that working. But I'm also going to see if there's anything around here that can give like a sense of how to get upward in this refinery, because it sounded almost like the Skulk was setting up some sort of grand showdown up top.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. So this is an older facility, and I will go ahead and we'll just go ahead and say, it's not a problem for you to rest for 10 minutes to get your stamina back. Any of you guys who want to make culture checks, or if you want to search the infosphere, any way you want to try to figure out if you can pull up like a schematic of this place or anything like that, you can
Yeah,
do
I'm thinking
that.
that I can probably grab something from like some of these terminals might have like
Yeah, why don't you go, so there's the terminal that's just got the wiring, but there's also gonna be a computer terminal that's off in the corner. That'll be right there. So, your choice if you wanna to try one or the other, or somebody else wants to help. It's
I
up to
mean,
you
the
guys.
terminal itself sounds right.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him do the terminal, and I'm just gonna be actually like walking around, looking around. So I'll get on top of the scaffolding, like we should like go Litigator. Can I have that ladder?
Oh yeah, sure.
Right, thanks. And I kind of like prop the ladder up in a way where hopefully it won't fall, and I get up on the scaffolding, and I kind of walk over to where the tarps are.
Walk over to where the tarps are. Okay.
You mentioned
that-
there was
Like kind of look down at them.
Okay, so you're on the ground, correct?
I'm up on the scaffolding.
You're up on the scaffolding. Okay,
looking
excellent.
down at 'em.
All right, so I will let you know what happens there in a moment. Let's resolve what Tehwas and Litigator are doing. Litigator, what are you doing at this moment?
So you mentioned there was a way we might be able to use a culture check to learn something
Yes.
about this refinery or other refineries like it. So I'm going to see whether or not I've ever overheard idle conversation about people discussing refinery blueprints. It's possible.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
A refinery is a building where things are refined. There's usually an entrance, an exit, and one or more floors.
I would say that's
Excellent.
pretty accurate description of what you know about refineries. In addition to that, you do know in general that this is a much larger facility than just a very kind of small local depot would be. That there's actually some industrial work that's being done. This area here is probably where a lot of like packaging and shipments took place. That makes sense because of the cargo entrance that you guys came into. It does make sense that there would be other more involved pieces of equipment elsewhere, and you do know that as you go up in these type of facilities, you don't know about this one because it's old and it's abandoned, you don't know anything about the company, but as you ascend floors in these types of facilities, you end up getting to what are generally kind of like open office areas or places where there would be more general civilized activity in general.
So, just looking up at the ceiling of this place, is there like an office window that looks down on the factory floor from up where the boss sits or something?
Not from where you can see it. It really does just kind of look like a warehouse right now. There's no real windows to speak of. The only way in and out of this particular part of the room is that cargo door that you went into.
Cool.
Okay. So Tehwas, what are you up to down here? You
Yeah,
rolled
so
something.
I was checking in on that computer to see if I could get some schematics. I got a 26 on that computer's check, and one of the things that I realized I should really be looking for, in addition to stairs up, is trying to identify any place where that router or that streaming hardware might be for them that we can mess with.
All right. So you spend some time at this computer terminal. This is really old, kind of rudimentary type of technology, but there's no real security measures in place. There's a little bit of some password stuff that you aren't necessarily going to be able to access immediately, but you are able to get what is mostly a schematic of this facility. And when you do, you notice that not only are there 3 levels to this place, but that while, as was described to the litigator, while a lot of the sort of like just packaging and shipments happen down at this bottom area, a lot of the actual refining and a lot of the more like industrial functions of the building were on the middle floor. The 3rd floor is going to be like an office area. And strangely enough, this walkway that you guys have seen is going to be from this part of the building, the sole way to actually get to the main parts of the building. And that device, that sort of like streaming kind of hub device, is going to most likely be on that 2nd floor.
Okay. Well, good thing we didn't destroy all the ladders.
Yet.
We didn't really destroy any of the ladders. We made a chipped bit on very.
I mean,
teeth, but
this ladder seems to be misshapen and has been taken the shape of like a Skittermander and a Dramata and everything
Look,
else.
there's nothing worse that would have happened to this ladder than what happened when Bear tried to climb it a few minutes later anyway.
I straightened it out.
All right. Okay, so Travis, do you want to do anything with this information? I'm assuming that you're telling your friends and your communicator or something like that.
Once we've had our breather, then I'll let them know where we're probably going next. Point out that we're going to see about pirating their stream and taking control of the narrative.
All right. So are you guys then? So Bear Drills, you're kind of ahead of them a little bit, but
Yeah.
Litigator and La Malscripcion, are you guys going up that walkway to make your way to the next part?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you show me where
think
you
I
guys
will,
are as you're doing that?
I will follow Tehwas.
Yeah, and I also kind of announced, like, hey, I found some tarp things here.
Is there anything under them?
I don't know.
Well, check it out.
Well-
Why don't you roll a perception check to see if you see anything?
Yeah, let's, hold up. I'll use my bare eyes. It's a 5+3. For some reason, my thing isn't adding to the stuff, but that is a +3. It's a 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so it's an 18 total.
Aye.
All right, so what are you doing? You're surveilling the whole area around you?
Yeah, kind
Are you
of
looking for anything in
mostly,
particular?
not really serving the whole area, mostly around the tarps, seeing like what they look like. Is there like something under them? Is there a pile of them? See if I hear
Alright,
anything
so-
from them.
So this is like a big pile of tarps. It's about 5 foot total off of the ground. It's not like right next to the walkway, which is of course 20 foot above, but it does look like if there was a large creature that maybe there could be some jumping back and forth. That's something that you could also possibly do because you have a climb speed. But as you were surveilling this big mound of just like old discarded tarps and textiles, you see the glinting of the light off of something white and something sharp, and you see a little bit of an outline of maybe some kind of paw, some kind of hand.
I climbed down and immediately investigated. I assume
You're gonna climb down.
Yep.
All right, so as soon as you jump down,
Okay, back here.
the lights go off in the entire place, and the only thing that you can see is the daylight streaming in from the cargo door that you have kept opened, that
What?
Natalia is used to drive the injured and probably dead super fans out of.
Damn it, Bear,
I'm-
what did you do?
I didn't do
I'm
anything.
expecting
I
a
stepped.
strobe light to kick in at any moment.
And as that light goes down, in a couple of moments later, as you guys are trying to figure out what's going on while you're disoriented, there are floodlights that click on in a very loud wong sort of noise, and it illuminates the movements of some kind of creature that is pulling its bulk onto the top of the tarp pile there. And what you see,
Uh-oh.
you see the outline of that big massive creature with those paws.
Oh, no.
No.
Hey, Chad.
Oh,
like what-
no.
Hey, Chad,
Kinda
who's
like
that creature?
Curse
Who's
you,
that
Baker.
creature?
You brought this upon us.
You know what? I was never expecting one of my language choices to come into play. No,
What? Did you take that?
I did. I
Oh,
totally
my
did.
gosh.
What language do you have?
Morlama!
Morlama! Oh, so you hear. Actually, why don't you make me a perception check because you're back there.
Oh,
You can
wow.
do it, Litigator. You got a 18. Also, make sure your dice rolling thing's on. It's that cog wheel at the top right. Make sure it's doing automatically stuff. But regardless, you got an
Oh,
18.
okay. Yeah, right.
All right. So you got an 18, and you hear just a little bit of like, which sounds just kind of like just noises to Bear Drills and to Tehwas down there. But you understand that the words being said are stone mold, because stone mold said so, as if he's trying to work up the speech that he's got with him. And the moment that you hear that, before you can even say anything to your compatriots, the lights flick back on, and you see this creature here.
Presently
all
soon. There he goes.
Yes, you all have identified. So that right there is one of the glamour shots of this particular individual. And after I describe what you see, I will let you make culture checks to see if you recognize who this is. But this is a Morlama that is dressed in an unbuttoned vest with the words Reeve, Reev, spelled in big, sloppy white letters painted down this vest. And he's got the tiniest little black briefs. And he's got boots that lace up to his knees. As he is just roaring, just this mighty walrus-like roar as the lights illuminate exactly what he looks like. And culture checks now, if you guys see if you guys know who this is.
I rolled a 17 for my culture check.
All right.
And Tehwas got an 8.
All
Oh,
right.
boy.
So Tehwas, you're a bit confused by this entire bit of pageantry. By the way,
Andrew got a 25.
Andrew
Yeah,
got
now I
25.
can roll
Wow.
these.
You guys know you're wrestling.
Well,
I've
she kinda
actually
got-
visited Stonebold's Reef Tostin's birthplace.
Have you? Are you a secret Stone Bold Reeve Tostin fan?
Who's not?
I
Look at the
mean,
guy.
that's a good point. All right, so behind you, just Granny P and Mama Martha, by the way, have been following at a fairly healthy distance. Just they don't know what's going to go on. They don't know how many edits will have to be made, but they are trying to keep the show moving. So with the 25 and with the 17, you do know that this is Stone Bold Reeve Tostin. This is a wrestler who had a career a couple of decades ago and is just now started to get back into the circuit. And unfortunately was not doing very well and was not being recognized by the current wrestling fans. And so has kind of fallen off of the radar a little bit. But it looks like that this is the Stone Bold that some of you recognize from your younger childhood days that is now standing in front of you. And
Oh,
making
boy.
that walrus-like roar.
What does that sound like, Amanda?
Just like that, and straight from that roar, you are gonna see that he sees you coming toward him, and he's saying, "Nobody want to mess with the Steve Bold. Nobody want to mess with the Bold. Stone Bold. All these mystics, they want to have their holy books with all of their scriptures. Do you want to hear what my scripture says? Do you want to hear what it is that Stone Bold 316 says? Stone Bold
Yes.
316
Yes, we do.
says, I just whipped your butts, and I'm going to need you to roll initiative as Stone Bold is going to try to stop you from getting across this walkway
Oh,
over
dang.
to his partner, the Skulk.
I have to always turn you down with each announcement.
Sorry. All right, so let's add a turn for here. So we got about 20 minutes left. Do we want to start this, Peyton?
Well, appropriately, it would be better to end it, even though we're not going on full show time. And it would
That's kinda what I'm thinking.
we would go way over time if we continued. So
Wait,
It is a
this is not
good
going to be an easy fight with
cliffhanger
Stone
moment.
Bold.
Also,
yeah, so with that, I think we can potentially end it here.
Okay.
You know, leave it till
Alright.
next time so we can fight Stone Bold Reeve Tossed.
Stone Bold Reeve Dawson, who has got a saying for you. Tostin
I'm-
316. He's gonna whip your butts.
Who came up with the name?
I don't know. Somebody who was absolutely not me.
Amanda.
I was not up until 10 p.m. last night coming up with catchphrases and names for the wrestlers that you may or may not be fighting, or watching videos from YouTube of the old trash talk that was happening with the various wrestlers.
we appreciate all
see.
the hard time you had to put in doing.
I'm a method GM, you guys, so I really like to get into the different characters that I'm portraying on the stream. I feel like it's very important for verisimilitude, and I think that chat would agree with me. And if chat does agree with me, maybe I should get another villain point for when these guys fight Stone Bold,
No,
Reeve
no.
Dawson.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
No.
Because that's what you need is more encouragement.
Fun
That's
thing I
right.
learned the last time I went to the Tacoma Zoo is that walruses whistle.
Did
Mm-hmm.
they really?
Yeah.
They do. They just swim around making this adorable whistling noise.
Is that because they have such long teeths? Are they just blowing their breath through their teeths?
You know, I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe they can't fully close their mouths, and that's just them breathing normally.
And they're just like, well, you know what? I even like that. I think that a walrus person wrestler who just kind of wheezes and whistles is even more appealing, even
I don't
more
know.
intimidating.
It sounds like a pug trying to walk around or run. It sort of turns into a sad wheezing and gasping bark.
Twin Icon in chat has got it down. Stone Bold. Grieve Charleston.
I'm just saying, if you want to work that into your characterization next time,
That's
free.
right.
for
Well, you know
realism.
It's not really outside the realm of possibility because some of the I spent a lot of time watching videos. A lot of those speeches, they seem like that they are about to pass out because they're not breathing.
It's a lot of yelling. Also, like how Lori has said, like how she likes that you've rigged the dice for us.
Lori, I don't know what it is that you're talking about, and I surely will not continue that tradition on our next episode of
Amanda's
Starfinder
trying to kill us.
X.T.R.E.M.
She's trying to end us all. We won't
Yeah,
survive
I'm sure we'll
next
all roll
episode.
much
I told you
better.
all that this was a no holds barred, free for all, everything goes wrestling match, and you guys thought that it was going to be easy and you'd be able to beat up the different wrestlers. Well, it's not. And now you
So-
gotta fight Stone Bold.
So far, all we've done is beat up fans and each other.
That's a good point. And some
That is
robots.
true.
Yeah, specifically beat up, not murder, and send their corpses off with a truck of tortoises and
Yes,
stuff. And
now-
just to get out the bad rolls out, let me roll this d20 and just to see what it is.
What did
And
you
that's
just roll?
That's a 1. I'm getting it out. I rolled a 1. At least it's happening now. I'm just like, well, I might as well roll 1 now that we're done, and not roll a 20 now and then waste it. So as long as it's out now, when it's not
Jason
happening.
WFD in chat. Please stop insinuating that I paid off Roll20. And please stop insinuating that their check is in the mail. And please stop insinuating that I'm doing this on purpose.
Yeah, come on, don't insinuate. Just state the facts.
Yeah,
the check
yeah.
is in the mail, and she has paid off Roll20.
Yeah, you don't need to go around the bush. She wants her number.
Roll20, your check is in the mail.
This is what happens when you have a premium subscription to the service.
I mean, this is really the best way to sell it, right?
Upgrade
You know,
yours.
premium subscription, and you can make all your players roll under a 10 for the entire hour and a half long fight.
Yeah. All you got to do is just check the little checkbox that says cheat.
That's right.
Actually, I think
Cheat
there's a thing you can
function?
do. You can do roll 20. Yeah, I can just roll 20 and always get 20s, right?
Perfect.
Oh,
That's
you
what you can
totally
do.
got another natural
Yeah,
20
roll
in a row
20.
there.
Yeah, I'll just keep rolling crits, baby. Yeah, just 20. Hey,
Adam
you can't
Dale.
roll
Oh, that's
20
even better.
ones. Well, guess what? Roll no, which is 1E plus 21. So I guess it's close enough.
I
Okay.
like that Adam Daigle's in chat saying, since Roll20 are our partners, does that mean Paizo staff has influence over the program? I mean, I can't think of a better argument for letting Paizo staff have influence over the die rolls than this stream in which everybody has rolled for absolute crap, and it has been hilarious and amazing.
I mean,
In case you're wondering, if you do a /roll infinity, it says there was an error with your formula.
Are you trying to crash the program?
The error
Worth a
with
shot.
your formula, Andrew, is that you were trying to roll above a 10, and I will not allow it.
Yeah, no, wait. It happened
Oh, okay.
once in the last few hours.
Man, oh, that fight. You guys were it wasn't pretty, you guys. We're
It was
just gonna
quality.
say
Yeah,
that
I
the
know.
audience who expected real cutthroat wrestling action, they really got what they were looking for because
Yeah.
you guys were not doing well.
All right. To be fair, no throats were actually cut in the filming. So, for legal reasons, I feel it's
legal
important that we say that.
Well, you know, they signed waivers.
I do
so-
appreciate that when we do the last time on X.T.R.E.M montage, that it's just going to be a whole bunch of us swearing at the camera as we live horribly.
That's right. Nothing about the epic driving montage back to the refinery. Nothing about, the ladders, the what was that, the straight jacket wrestling move that you pulled there, Litigator.
And we
Yeah.
keep on cutting to Granny being like, "Get your act together! What I pay you for?"
Also, the
Great.
footage mysteriously cuts out right before various punches land, and there's a sort of choppy footage of us loading a bunch of garbage bags into a trunk.
Oh, wait. I know, like every
You
single
guys are
time.
just cleaning up the refinery.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
just being good citizens.
I like to think like before every punch, it cuts away to a comic book. Pow, kapow, kablam. Like before every punch, so it cuts all that part out. So it just looks like we're just comic book heroes.
Yes,
That's right. And every time something is cut out, it just goes to Granny's face going and saying stream.com/the litigator. Trying to sell your merchandise.
It's just way too much advertisement and marketing, and everyone's just kind of like, I love Grandma. Okay.
She's the best, most heartwarming grandma. She bakes you cookies and then charges you $2.99 for each one.
Made me the Dorindy I am today.
Right. Thank you all so much for joining us for this week's very serious episode of Starfinder X.T.R.E.M, in which we discuss Stone Bold Reef Tossin and Rob a Boss, or any of the other not Bob Ross wrestlers. And please join us again next week for all your wrestling and Starfinder needs, because you know that you have them. Thanks, guys.